All right, guys, we are back here. Here we see some chip counts. Oh, wow. Arnaud Romain, I guess, with more than 1 million already. James Boyle, 89 antes. We see Lee Bjorn on this feature table. Michael Watson, Rui Cao, and Chow. Really nice players to watch. Some very aggressive ones, too. And I'm very excited to be watching this. And one more thought that I wanted to say about Justin Bonomo as well is that he makes some very good points. Like, you know, people see the wins, and a guy like that pays for so many buy-ins, buys in for a ton of money all the time. You know, if you see somebody win 500K somewhere again, but he might have bought in for 400 that trip, or let's say he has a bigger piece of a tournament that he doesn't cash in, and then he takes a smaller one because he's on a downswing and he wins. Like, all of that stuff is really hard to tell behind the scenes what's happening. You can't just judge a run by its cover in that sense, where you just look at the first place prizes and think, wow, this guy has a lot of cashes. But I mean, let one thing be clear, I'm pretty sure that 2018 was a good year for him. And now ready on to event number 2. So this is usually what you're used to from us. We'll cover 2 days of an event. As soon as the event ends, if there's a nice playing time left in the day, we'll switch to the other one. We don't want to miss any of the action. There's so much action every day. John Joanna there in the back. Really like to see him play the starting levels of these short deck tournaments as well. We already showed you guys a little bit right before the heads up started. I saw so much action immediately. People were playing so fast as well. Everybody's chips were just flying around. We saw like 3 all-ins in 3 hands. We start things off here with Rui Cao. Boom, there you go. Looks like the antes just went up. Of course, people coming back from a break. Rui Cao here, 27 antes, Queen Jack, and there we go. So effectively, every one of these bullets is worth $20,000.
It's okay. I'm gonna make trips on the flop. Jack trips.
Jack tricks not possible. Jack tricks possible.
It's bad news.
Go on.
Okay. Just sing a paragraph. No. Ayah. Jack a spade.
Jack of spades is a very fair call. Oh.
No, this one. Oh, that's a mini chop. Okay, 7-10, fair. Now you want to go king, right? Please. A king. 2 pair. 2 prefer.
They chop it up. 2 pair ace kicker. And here you see immediately how fast this action is going to be. Kind of the action always slows down a little bit in the tournament. Pay jumps become very important. You don't have any bullets behind. The registration period is still open as well for these guys. All of the tournaments here are unlimited re-entry. They wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm very glad. I mean, we saw people put 5 bullets into the $250,000 re-entry main event. I mean, where do you see that happen? It's incredible. I can't wait for that one. It's just the amounts of pain that people put each other through here. And it's so cool. You can just tell by everything that these guys play a lot against each other. Hence the trash talk. You know, hence the people talking about where they were from, how they've been running. You have to kind of look at it in a way where you just go somewhere on a trip with all your friends because you have the same hobby. That's pretty much what these guys are doing. And of course, some of them play professionally, but that's definitely the vibe we're all getting. I mean, Pogorski said he didn't sleep in a few days because he went here. That means he probably was playing with the other guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure that some of these guys just are like, oh, we need to leave, man. There's a tournament in Jeju. All right, cool. Let's hop on a plane, and they go. That's incredible, and that's why it's so relaxed, and that's why everybody has the table talk, because they're already used to each other, right? If you play cash games all the time with each other, you get used to each other. You start to getting to know somebody.
One more fish.
You can be a little bit more relaxed.
This card is bad.
Is this one bullet or is this 3 bullets?
One bullet. You have to...
And this is rebuy?
Yeah. I'm all in.
Wonder who just joined the table. There is always a certain point in a tournament, because these guys have been playing all day. So there's always a point in a tournament where you have to put in all your bullet tickets. It doesn't seem like we've reached that point just yet. I think I saw some bullet cards for people.
Enough for his fucking tens.
He's known for his tens. All right, nice. These guys play a lot against each other. Roma, a regular on the scene here as well. That's a good flop for him.
No queen.
Yeah, I know.
Still better than random. Yeah. 9.
Queen is not better than random. Doesn't change much.
Give him 10. 10 on the river like
I think Rurikawa doesn't even matter. He just wants to talk about the hand and the situation. All right, nice hold for him there.
Yep.
I don't know. I love watching Rurikawa play. You see, like, and that's what we say with a lot of these guys. Chao's the same. A lot of these guys, Paul Fa as well, always smiling no matter win or lose. They always have something funny to say after the hand. If they win a hand, they're also gloating and boasting, and that's cool. It's makes for a very comfortable atmosphere. It just feels like the game is very alive.
What time is re-entry until? Like 2 more hours?
Soon, I guess.
End of
Tomorrow
level
level.
8, I think.
End of 8.
And they make you take all these at the end of this level, right?
So it looks like...
Floor man.
No, I do not know seats.
Table 3.
8, I guess. There's no seat 4. There's also no tournament number 4, because that is a number that's viewed as is very unlucky here. So we have seat 1, 2, 3, and 5, and no tournament 4. That's actually amazing. I mean, same way that you don't see a lot of 13th row in airplanes.
Marked, but it's really weird.
All the 6s are marked.
It might have just been the same 6, but I've noticed, like, every time I've noticed a nil mark on a card, it was the 6.
Just a card to be marking.
Yeah.
I think it's a nil mark on the 6 because people angrily squeeze it whenever they see it.
I mean, it probably is. You're
But,
probably right, but it was weird because every time it was a 6, I was like, I don't know, this is kind of freaking me out.
Also, Vegas hotels don't have a 13th floor in the hotels. That's when I first started noticing stuff like that. I mean, there's good reason too. I'm sure that that floor gets a lot less attraction for people to stay on, where you could be sold out and people are like, if you think I'm going to stay on the 13th floor in a sold out hotel, you're crazy. So people are just obliging. So hence no seat 4 and no 4th event.
We're gonna have a 3-way limp pot. Pocket Queens is looking for some action.
I'm almost starting to think that Rui Kao is trapping here. We've seen about 6 hands. He's been all in 4 of them.
He's one of the most exciting players to watch.
We see a 2-pair here for Romain.
Quad Queens. And someone else is betting on it. So there's a bet and a call. Got a slow play to Queens. No reason to raise at this point. Rui Kao's the type to just keep betting with nothing. Check, check. You guys play fast.
Yeah, yeah, it's incredible. It's hard to keep up with graphics.
You can imagine the graphics are like, can you guys play a little bit slower for us? Another check from Romain.
How many quads you make? Get 9s.
Don't put the phone in the rail.
So this is event number 2, double the buy-in. And new faces, so it's going to be a bigger tournament, I imagine.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Isn't that True Teller?
Yeah, True Teller, one of my favorite players.
Wow, that guy is such a boss.
Yeah, this guy has a couple 100,000 of my money.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, so does the rest of the world, but that's actually a very large amount.
Yeah,
So
if a lot of people have that, I would have no more money.
what's the stakes you played against him most?
I played him in both 5100 no limit heads up and 5100 no limit cap. So he was new to no limit hold'em and I was new to cap, so we would just keep battling each other in each other's game. But he learned to play no limit faster than I learned how to play cap.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like much of a battle.
I like battling. It's fun.
Yeah, I know.
I know it was a big lesson, but it was still a lot of fun. And I realized how much skill there was in cap. And in cap hold'em, it's kind of got some similarities to short deck. So I would expect that True Teller is going to be one of the best in short deck. He's going to know shoving ranges really well and try to push really small equities.
Yeah, it's good. This guy is just if you think about being a wizard, he's like the Grandmaster Wizard.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's one of the best all-time poker players he's ever been, and it's incredible how fast he picks up new games. It's insane. I mean, he's played online high-stakes 8-game and immediately settled in himself. He played high-stakes PLO, just jumps in new games, highest stakes. It's incredible. I have so much respect for that guy.
So he's all in here, Queen 10, in good position against 10-9 suited of Bjorn Lee.
9-10 jack.
You know what's funny is that they always ask for flops that give them the lead, but it's really good for their opponent as well. They need the sweat.
Hammer right is king of spades.
Bjorn's got 40% here. That's a nut straight for True Teller.
Man, I'm so excited to see this guy play.
Yeah, I was waiting to see him play last time. He wasn't on the feature table that much. So it's good to see him here in this event. I don't know, have you heard that True Teller story of me and him? So we're playing heads up, playing for hours, maybe like 10 hours straight heads up.
Yeah.
and I was down money, and he wanted to kind of take a break, and I was like, no, let's keep playing, because, you know, I want to keep battling, and he's like, well, how am I going to keep playing? There's a bear in my house. What? And I was like, what do you mean a bear? I mean, you mean a dog, right? He's like, no, a real bear. I live in Russia. I was like, oh, you really have a bear in your house? You can own bears? And he's like, no, I was just kidding. So I got total trolled.
Yeah, that's funny. Man, that's funny, yeah. Man, you've played some legendary battles in your life. I think that because it's funny, because people always see you as like the guy who played 24 tables and grinds, but I actually know you as somebody who battles and can degen insanely hard.
Yeah, I like to build bankrolls.
Yeah.
You know, people, they deposit like 20K, and I help push it to like 100K.
Yeah.
Just go all in when you're not sure.
What is Naranoko most known as? The biggest driving force behind Truth Teller.
Please? Yeah. Ask me, not on TV. Okay. That's annoying on TV.
I think Truth Teller is no stranger to the cash game scene in Asia as well.
Yeah, he's very involved in them. Whether it's No Limit, and like you said, any game, he's there. You know, I'm pretty sure he's playing a lot of like side cash games here as well.
Oh, sorry, it's me. I fall.
It's insane because you almost never see a guy that is so insanely good at No Limit Hold'em also be that good at other games. Like, he seems like a specialist at all of them, and I know we're fanboying really hard, but I can't drive home enough like how sick of a poker player Kuznetsov is.
Yeah, and you know, he's very aggressive. That's the thing. You know, some players, they play a lot of games, they play quite conservatively, but he's always going for it. He's gone for it here. He's in trouble against Rui Cao. Ace King and King 10.
We'll see.
Count later, I'm gonna win. Count later.
Are we cool, right?
Yeah.
Just deal.
So Kuznetsov
Confidence didn't kill anyone. Deal.
needs to hit a 10.
Ace, king.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay, ace is 10. Give you a small chance. Yeah.
That's as bad as it gets.
Jack.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a sweat.
Wow, this is such a bad day. Rui, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
Everybody's hoping for another 10. I mean, I'll be honest, I was too.
Rui Cao's kind of one of the players. He plays the biggest stakes, very aggressive, but it's the guy that everyone teases the most, right?
2, 5, 4.
They always like needling him at every moment. But you know, he handles it well.
Leave you in the plus EV spot.
Yeah.
Didn't Truth Teller have a bet with somebody, and if he lost it, he had to do an interview? And that was like his first public appearance. And
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And a friend of his,
That's the minimum.
something like that. There was, he wasn't really ever looking for the spotlight to do anything with that. And after that, all of a sudden, people knew who he was and stuff. It's
Yeah, that was a big interview then.
yeah. I love the energy in the room when registration is still open in a short deck tournament.
Yeah, the first few levels, or first day, it's very splashy, very friendly too.
Now, what are you gonna do?
Like 100 something?
And we know no one's like scared money in this game.
One.
Look at this.
Protect my friend
8-6 offsuit. I'm all in.
and myself.
Hey, I think I'm going to protect him too. Let's not protect him
Too
together.
much protection, guys.
What is Kuznetsov
Okay.
doing here too?
You have a lot of friends here, Timo.
You don't protect him by calling.
I think Timofey is going to win the main pot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to win the main pot. Oh, the side pot, sorry. Okay, leave you the main pot.
Oh,
we'll
it's
do
okay.
later.
It is pretty easy. See?
He's probably not going to win.
Yeah. Now don't worry about Timo.
Running sixes.
Running 6.
I'm an 8.
Oh, 8. Okay. Now 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
John, Joanna gonna scoop
Three
that
buys
pot.
to this table.
1.
Yeah.
25. 135. That's a little bit too much, I think. Oh. This is 150, right? No, that's too much. Okay. 135. Okay.
To rebuy.
Yeah? Yeah? Yeah.
100.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, right.
This one.
So it looks like Kuznetsov use one of his rebuy bullets.
My goal is not have to rebuy.
So a total of 54 entries already, 37 remaining, unlimited re-entry.
How should that?
Nothing.
Okay, not what I wanted to hear.
I can't believe that Triton went all in with 6-8 offsuits.
Yeah,
That's just-
everyone's been snap folding these hands. He's just like, okay.
That's so trash. And for the people that are wondering why there's so many all-ins, I mean, we just switched over to this tournament. These guys have been playing for at least 6-7 hours already. So if you buy in for one bullet of 100,000, that's only 20 antes. We've seen people blast all in with King 10 for 50 antes earlier. So, and that was deep in the tournament. So you're going to see a lot of these people want to build stacks.
Yeah, they've got the bankroll to keep rebuying, so you know, they really just want to ship this tournament.
You can. Always can. Min raise can.
Min raise and then just maybe check back the turn and then scare him a bit.
Yeah, if you mean raise check back.
Obviously trapping.
That's like the best table we could have hoped for. You're in late, considering it. Calls as well.
Check.
Four clear.
So 2 players with a pair and a straight draw.
20.
All right, Kuznetsov all in. As we saw earlier, that doesn't say much. I mean, if you see somebody galling with 8-6 offsuit in this game, it can literally be any two.
Yeah, right now it's hold on.
He got called. I think that looks like ace queen.
2 pictures. Hopefully they match.
That looks like kings against ace queen or ace jack.
Wait. Who has the ace jack?
Who has the ace jack? You just switched your hands around. There we go.
Wow, I said kings, huh?
Yeah, close.
Kappa.
0 kings out there. Looks like a king would make someone a straight though.
I don't even know why I try. I never know. Whenever there's a picture, I don't know how people that play stud do it. They just look across the table and they say, oh, clearly, oh, that's a 9. Or you know when people sweat the cards and they look, oh, it's 3 across. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either.
Is that what? 8? I don't know. Probably not.
Like, get a calculator to count the little pips.
Yeah. Kuznetsov gets there.
90. Ready?
So every 64,000 you put in gets you 3 bullets. 1 is used right away, 2 behind.
I was told to put here.
100,000 for each.
I mean, I don't mind. I can put here.
This style of tournament actually drives up the action too.
Girlfriend here?
Hmm?
Girlfriend here?
No, no more.
No more?
No.
That was my question. How the feeling?
If you focus.
Oh, it's nice to have that on live TV too.
One more?
Mm-hmm. So Mike Watson is putting all of the chips in. King 9 versus 10 9. Okay, these are some pretty marginal hands, I would say. King 9's in the lead. 10 9 picks up a straight draw. A flush draw for King 9 suited. They gotta sweat the river card. A little bit delayed river.
What do they wait to?
Subtle.
Yeah, no, but I wonder why.
Alright, here comes the river card.
On the situation.
Queen. King High's gonna take it down. Mike Watson loses that stack.
Wow, ace of spades. Less. Oh, let's not finish the.
Yeah, there should be a better way, huh? Like they just freeze the screen, right? In the live telecast, they freeze the screen. Okay, now he has this many out, okay, play. Instead of make us wait. Understand?
Slowing down.
Oh,
Yeah,
buy
it's
a
slow.
lot.
We're losing hands.
Yeah, we should be compensated.
Losing rebuy opportunities.
Mike Watson not having a good day in this event or the last event.
They're making less rake and playing less hands. No, but I would like to go all in.
No drinks. I'm gonna go all in. John Juan is hilarious.
Yeah, he's really funny.
The guy who just doubled up.
That is so funny.
So quick call from Bjorn Lee. Like, they're playing very splashy for a $65,000 buy-in tournament.
Or 9-10 suited or something.
What's the first one?
This is looser than like a random kitchen table game among friends. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
Him or me? About 250.
About 250?
I'd be nervous, you know, being all in. So John Juana
same
in with
card.
jacks.
241.
It's a queen.
241.
It's a bit much, huh?
Yeah.
50 ante?
You can afford it. You're a rich man. I mean, come on, you
How many
play,
have there?
Opportunities.
you play
100,
super high limit, you know. 200k NT, what is it's nothing to you.
How you talk so much?
Okay, so 200k ante game. Nice little insight there.
Yeah, that's a big game.
$25,000 ante buy-in short deck. Are you kidding
Maybe a
me?
big need.
What did you fold?
That's insane.
Oh, what is your fault?
Same hand.
That's
Your hand.
Same hand as him.
Don't do that. What did you have?
Jack Jack?
Oh,
No.
nice. I like the
Are you
sound of that.
serious?
Yeah, I swear.
Ah,
I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be
I
queen.
basically win.
Jesus. I'm like 2-1 underdog now or something.
Rory
Yeah.
Cal said he folded jacks.
Punish you.
Really?
Going to call, you know.
Damn it. No, I don't want you
Win
to.
together.
No. Queen half the pot. After like I'm like, you know, 2-1. Then I become like 4-1. Hey, however, usually like the really big underdog, they always win, you know.
Bjorn
You want
Lee
the 10
still has 38% base king.
I want a 10. No, I want like.
10 is
Oh,
not a good
turns
card.
an ace.
Take
10
it.
is the best card.
Oh, 10 is a good card for
Normal
Jack?
Wanda.
And
Yeah.
How
Ace
much?
king.
So there should be no jacks remaining.
That'd be so funny if it rolls
Yeah,
off.
jacks are psycho. I was just kidding.
That's what was so
we
cool
know
too,
who is
because
the fucking
they're
one.
even three-handed.
Jack, sorry.
They're enticing each other to call.
133.
Nobody
Sorry,
cares.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you should call, you're rich. And nobody's like, oh, hey, you can't do that three-handed.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just like, yeah, ha, 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 call.
No,
You
I thought
know?
you were just
Queens I
joking.
call. You know?
I'll pass.
That's like, okay. You think I'm a big nit, huh? Think with queens.
No,
You
nobody.
forget rebuy.
I still can't get over 25k dollar anti-short deck cash.
Yeah,
game.
that's just the ante. That's huge.
And people go all in for 50 antis and stuff. That's $1 million.
Thank you for doing the math. I was like, yeah,
That's okay. Oh,
that's
yeah.
just 50 antes. That means people have more than $1 million on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah. All right. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, I have 60 antis, 1.5 million I raise. I'm all in. Oh, this is a good spot for ace queen. I'm all in.
Yeah.
It's just
And
okay.
I'll call you if Jack 10 suited.
That's insane, man. That's insane. I respect that.
So Rui Cal, king, queen of clubs. Kuznetsov, 9-6 suited. Joanna is short. It's got queen 10 of diamonds. It's a reasonable hand to get a little bit splashy with.
All in.
He's going all in.
Let's gamble, Roy. I think you have the best hand, but let's gamble. Yes. I think diamonds are better than clubs.
Another all in and call.
Are you going after that, Moscow?
Oh,
Maybe Macau.
Maybe Macau.
This is a fair fight.
Twice.
very fair.
Moscow.
Yeah, 50-50.
You're going Moscow back?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
should come for this.
Huh?
This beautiful.
Hey,
Turn card is the
difficult to
7.
make plus in this game.
The king.
They told me that.
Don't make him lie. Put your
Yeah,
king here.
it's Queen. You make a pair. Make him a pair, queen.
It's all about having such a pretty draw and missing everything.
35.
34. Give me 130.
Right? Yeah, I didn't see even the 10 before you said.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 clubs. Oh no, there is a 10.
Oh, you thought you had me drawing like super dad.
Yeah. And you said the queen. What do you mean the queen?
Overconfident Rui Kao. And back to where I started.
So Mike Watson still on a short stack. He's going to shove it all in Queen 10.
Fold. I think maybe for smaller tournaments, they should just do one bullet.
Yeah.
Bjorn Lee makes the call of ace 10, dominating.
Yeah, and just with a big one, maybe 3 bullets.
But the thing is, a lot of people don't consider this small. Like 500K buying.
They're like, there's people that actually think this is a high buy-in.
One bullet. More rebuy.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
I
good.
mean, it's huge buying, you know, compared to normal. Not for you, Timofey. But
Yeah.
65K US. No, but 65K US is like super big, you know?
Isn't it?
That's what I always heard. Like, these people play 100K tournaments all the time.
Oh, this conversation.
Yeah, he's like, this is too small.
Yeah, it's super big, isn't it? I don't know.
This is supposed to be a bounty tournament, right? How does
Yeah,
it
but
work?
then it's, I think it's bad, you know, bounty tournament for
Huh?
this.
No,
I think
no.
bounty tournament for this is
They
bad.
cancel the bounty?
Yeah.
Or is that what happens? Okay.
No, I mean, we talked to Paul and we say it's like not good. You know?
Yeah.
Seems like a weird rule.
I mean, you cannot rebuy, you know? It's like
Yeah.
you're putting
They're just
half
like
the buy-in.
chatting and Watson's just walking away. I didn't even sweat his cards.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
If you're like short stack, you know?
Well, I guess it's very disadvantageous to.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe first level, you know.
The guy has 2 million. Rebuy, okay, please give him.
Yeah, that's
rebuy.
true,
Can
actually. That's a
help me
really
out,
good
you know?
point.
Yeah, that's an
Give me half the buy-in knockout.
interesting
Yeah, that's
thing to consider.
And you have no 40 quid, you know? You cover someone, you just call him.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's just,
basically.
How much you have? I don't look at okay.
doesn't matter.
You have 2-1 all the time, you don't check EV. I think we have enough all-in call in this game already, you know? You don't need bounty to.
Yeah, it's very.
Encourage more action.
It's not very interesting to buy in very late
At least make the bounties
when people
smaller.
can just instant call you with big stacks for your
Yeah.
bounty. That's
Yeah.
I never thought about that actually.
Yeah, I
And-
think the action would be really good early, and then later when someone's got 1,000,000 chips, they're not really going to want to rebuy if they can't collect any bounties.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the cool dynamic of this tournament. People just keep buying in because short stack have a lot of chances to win and make a comeback.
Okay, I'm telling you, in this event, the play is much different. Like, people are just much more aggressive here, it seems. Like, 8-6 offsuits, going nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this one's going to turn out in the end.
bounty sounds fun on paper, but when you think about it,
Yeah, good points, good point. But that's how cool is that? And that speaks for this event and all the things that are possible. So the people get here, they think about it, they talk to Paul, and they're like, "Hey, Paul, I don't think that this is good for these reasons." And then Paul's just like, "All right,
Yeah,
then don't. I hear you, and let's not do it."
and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then it's changed last minute. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, the players do give their feedback, and they do listen to them.
Oh my, this is... all right, we got Joanda all in with ace-8 offsuit for 50 antes.
Yeah, ace-10 here. He doesn't have too many chips.
We don't exactly know if there's somebody behind Joanda that covers him, though.
Boy, he lays it down to ace-10.
Yeah.
He's just thinking he's not messing around like this.
That actually kind of shows how bad that all-in is.
Yeah,
That ace-8 gets... that ace-10 gets folded.
Oh, I think
It's track off? It's 10 off?
you might have a better kick.
I had a 10.
Yep.
Because Netsov was like, "No, I had a 10." And Joanda's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had a better kicker." He's like, "Wait, what? How?"
I know, right?
It's just gambling.
This one?
Everyone's in a little bit of a gambling mood right now. Definitely good for stack building. Romain, ace, king. Kuznetsov, 10-8 of diamonds.
No French sandwich.
Doesn't have many chips left, so he shoves it in. 10-8 suit actually performs pretty well against ace, king, all in pre-flop.
Ah, you have the right card.
No. Sorry.
Forgot what I have this one.
So it's a little bit of an all-in here. It's a fair fight.
Maybe we wanted to look up in that.
Romain is in the lead, 28% for Kuznetsov.
Just wait.
Yeah.
We're just like staring at each other like.
Turn card is the 9. So a 7 could give Kuznetsov
No.
the lead.
Why you need 8? You have one pair already. 6. Okay, 7. One big card.
It's a blank.
We have one pair already. Let's make it fair. No pair for anybody. 7. Next level, all 3 all the time.
Next level, all 3 all the time.
Good.
All right, so now we're at the level where if you buy in or rebuy, you get 300,000 at the start.
Yeah, this is an adjustment that was made in one of the previous Triton
And it's one level.
Super High Roller series.
I don't think so.
Yeah, one more level.
One more level? Yeah. Perfect. Oh, you rebuy.
Last level you have to put all.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, they don't want the short stacks to have too short of a stack and just shove and force people to call.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for 6.
Puts a little bit more play in.
Like
Deep stack poker
Yeah,
now.
You
nah.
attack your 8K.
No more.
It's actually okay. Last round 50 NT.
Hope I have 50 amps.
2 years ago, 60 NT was short.
Yeah, I remember.
2 years after, 50 NT is deep. What happened?
50 NT seems a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, 50 NT for like 300 NT deep, 500 NT deep.
Yeah, before it was different.
Before boys just shipping in ace 9 off 100 antes every hand.
No more.
Knowing that Romain actually had
Ace queen was nuts 100 antes.
more than 1 million, that makes you on the shelf so insane.
Yeah.
That's probably, I mean, I don't think it matters because he's clearly gambling.
Mm-hmm.
So no disrespect to him, but I think that might be the worst all-in we've seen
Yeah.
in the last 2 days. It's just funny to point it out because of the gambling aspect that we see here and how comfortable everybody is and how much everybody's just firing to try and build a stack.
Yeah, so here's 60-something antes going in there. King 10 suited. Romain folds the best hand of ace jack.
How much is that?
True teller.
I cover you, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
No.
It's only got 100K.
50 NT about.
Trying to figure out how often Roy Cow shoves a non-ace hand.
GTO shot.
He's going to lay it down.
This was also an insanely big all-in.
Yes, that was about 62 antes. King 10 suited. Not King Jack suited, just King 10 suited. Really widening the ranges right now.
No, it's jack offset. I had an 8 again, but then I decided to slow play this time.
Beyond how much you have? Like 300 something?
360 I believe.
360. Okay.
So yeah, actually the stacks are pretty deep. 400K plus for these three players.
Yeah.
All three have similar stats.
So John Joando with the nut straight draw. Rui Cal has king 8 high, and he's the one reaching for chips. Just doesn't have anything. So Joanda just shoves it all in with King Jack.
Oh,
Man, they really are going for it.
beautiful. I'm basically move
60
on.
antes, massive raise.
Yeah, people, they're pushing
Not really,
stacks
if you
in.
think about it, you only have like.
Yeah, exactly. I was mainly
I love watching action on this table. It's so good. So Arnaud Romain is the table chip leader. Timofey is short stack. And it looks like this is the last level you can rebuy. And you'll have to buy him for 300,000 chips right away. A 65K USD buy-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
One of the toughest table on TV.
3 players.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. By far. Toughest. Not that matters.
Bet 16. Jungle got okay table.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Jungle Man's in the field somewhere based on the table talk.
That's really cool.
It's like the best players. This is like the championship, you know, like the very best players show up here.
Yeah, like a lot of them are saying this is the only spot where they really get to do this.
Like other tournaments out there, no, these guys don't show up. It's not big enough. Small, intimate field of just highly skilled players. Really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that multiple featured table. We love that aspect of it.
That's a straight on board.
Yeah. Straight on board, but no one has a 10. So they would chop. The thing is, these guys, they might be tempted to try to push someone off the chop. John Joanda reaching for chips.
Bet 65.
So it's about half the pot. Does look like a 10 would bet this way. Bjorn Lee would be calling for a chop.
Always sucks to call for a chop, but if people start betting half pot, all of a sudden it becomes a lot more tempting. See a lot of people bet pot or overbet. these situations as well.
Pretty annoying spot. You're like, really think he's got a 10. But I really want to call for half the pot. Lays down the chop.
Good bets.
John's feeling pretty good about that one.
With what? Play the ball?
I have one diamond.
You call and play the ball?
Oh yeah, obviously I play the board. I have enough 10.
That's funny. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you think I'm going to fold a 10 there?
Yeah.
I'll give you a heads up. Tomorrow we're going to finish this event. Crown of Champion event number 2. Tomorrow the No Limit 6 Max will start as well. That'll run alongside day 2 of this event. And if this event finishes early, we'll likely transition over to the No Limit Hold'em, just like how we transitioned into event number 2 here today.
Oh, that's really cool. That's going to be a big buy-in too. $64,000 No Limits Hold'em.
6 Max, so that's more of an action game too.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so event number 5 would be the $1 million Hong Kong dollar buy-in, short deck ante-only. That's 125,000 USD, unlimited re-entry event. And then we've got the 2 million main event, 250,000 USD. That's a 3-day tournament. And you know, last year's champion was Mikita Badziakowski in Jeju. He also won the Montenegro on back-to-back main event champion.
Yeah, he's been crushing.
So True Teller, all in, bad again, but he's just a short stack, so I don't think he minds too much. He's gonna need a jack to make it straight. And I think True Teller is out of here. I think he's officially eliminated, so he's going to have to put in another 500,000 Hong Kong.
Yeah, go away. Go.
Well, because I raised with ace-9, that means I bluffed you? Can I raise some?
No, I meant, not because of that hand. I was just thinking that.
No, this is just the right play, I think. You know, you guys will be scared to call 35 to get squeezed.
Nothing to do with this hand.
What do you think my other card is? Like, I just have like nothing. Queen of spades. Just bluff with.
Maybe jack of spades.
Bet jack high flush draw.
Yeah, just going ham. Jack high flush.
Going crazy. Wait, it's my turn.
True Teller was asking when he got eliminated, would I rebuy? Would I get right back on his table? Because if the answer is yes, he's going to instantly rebuy. He wants to get back at these guys.
I'm gonna fold this one.
So that means he's likely to rebuy. He's going to be in for 125,000 USD. You know, in short deck tournaments, I would say on average you're in for 2.5 bullets.
How do you know? How do you know?
Should have raised him. He got shit.
How you guys know, huh?
Action on Bjorn Lee, ace queen. He's going to open it up.
Yeah.
You know, actually, a lot of people from Undergun just kind of limp, but Bjorn Lee's got a different style.
I like that.
C'est à toi les jetons au milieu là? Le mec qui n'importe qui peut les prendre, et si tu t'en sais même plus.
John Joanna calling Queen 9 offsuit in position. They've got deep stacks, so calling becomes more okay to DPR because you can kind of outplay your opponent post flop if he shows weakness. He does out flop ace queen.
Check. Check.
So it goes check, check. Turn card is a 7.
Check.
If I'm Joanda, I'm thinking, okay, there's you pre-flop raise, you check twice on this board. You likely have 2 overcards. Just put some chips out and protect your hand because it's very vulnerable.
Yeah, really good.
Another pot for Joanda.
Joanna's stacking chips.
第一句话好以为今天你们老了，你会不会说话？我老了吗？哪里老了？你靠了呢。
That's ST. New face is coming on. He's a familiar face. He played the $1 million cash game.
Oh yeah.
Oui. Yeah. 8, 10, 10, ace, 9, 10, 6, 10. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these guys know each other. You guys might not be too familiar with them, but these guys are all high stakes regulars. And when I say high stakes, I mean super high stakes regulars.
不是，我是放这里还是放这里？就随便放了。
随便。
这是什么？
So they call Zul Wang ST often.
6000
50个
，He's a super solid player.
放这里啊？你乱说啊！
He forgot how to use a whole card cam.
我坑了呀！
So I just want to point out that the chip colors are a little bit different in this tournament. The blue is 25,000, the orange is 5,000, and the black is 1,000. So just in case you're a little bit confused from event number 1.
这个牌比下面那个大吗？
Oh, it's a good thing you pointed out. I didn't really notice that.
Check. 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 Check.
Turn card is a jack. No one has a jack.
Bet. King 5.
Kyle taking control. Gets it through.
Yeah, just 10 high. I think there's a player who wins the most pots. Rui Kao is definitely up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like sometimes they're like, oh, he's got a piece, so he's got to bet. He doesn't need a piece. He'll still bet as long as he thinks you'll fold.
Yeah, it's like automatic. Okay, let's put aggression, and then we have to decide: do we have to do it once, twice, or 3 times?
The thing of Rui, he's actually really good at mixing it up. He knows everyone thinks he's very aggressive, so he plays solid when he needs to, and he can make some really big folds as well.
Yeah, Ruka actually goes way back in poker as well. Grind a lot of PLO online. Pepperoni F. Played really big games. Always very fun to watch. I used to sweat him all the time.
So Bjorn Lee, Ace King. It's going to raise up to 40,000.
See how Bjorn Lee, how comfortable he is playing post flop. One of the first people that we see raise a lot and be okay with playing out of position.
Yeah, I think he's kind of got more of that style of opening pre-flop rather than just limping everything. And I want to see how that works. You know, I think it's a viable option. And as the players have said, is that there's no absolute strategy that's definitely the best right now. You know, everyone do feel like they've got a good grasp on the game, but they're not 100% sure what's the absolute best strategy. So it's good to see. Queen 10 for Bjorn.
Oh yeah. Wait.
We'll raise 你还玩
AK.
So these guys put in a lot of bullets. It's gotten a little bit deeper. You can see that they have slowed down. When it was 20 ante, deep stacks, people would just be going all in and stuff, but it looks so gambly, but there's definitely a strategy behind it. I think that we saw a little bit of an adjustment period. It kind of ended with Joanna shoving that ace-8. And then after that, people were like, okay, we're actually really deep here. And now it's still playing really fast.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's kind of like if you don't give action, then the action just kind of stops.
Yeah.
You know? So Zul Wang here, pocket jacks. All in. Playing quickly.
Call USD
有牌，
完全不限的哈。
那就不行。
The level of play at this table, or the caliber of these players, is really big, high, however you say it. These guys are really good at short deck.
Holy cow.
$37万左右。Raise 72。你看看一下负就可以。
Later, it's still open for this level. After this level, it closes. So this is not the moment to start gambling with a 400 or 500k stack. It's really nice to be at that point.
我带了个什么东西？妈的，还早就带着那个工具来了。他打的出这东西，就是那个东西啊。这个。
Jack 10 suited. Yeah, these stacks are pretty deep, so players aren't going too crazy right now. Ace 10 suited. Is this a raise or is this a check?
really like this.
Yeah, pump it up. It's actually, it's about 6 antes.
It's not that big. I think it's kind of interesting because we saw Chow do something similar where he min-raised with ace jack on the final table, and you know that doesn't necessarily mean it's very unconventional, but it allows your opponents to play very honestly.
That was a funny hand because it actually got Ben Lam eliminated from the tournament. And he actually wouldn't have busted if he got to see a flop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good price.
Okay, so we got a 4-way flop. Bjorn Lee has cleared out 0 players.
Sorry.
And he actually has the strongest hand pre-flop.
Yeah.
No one has the queen. No one has the clubs.
$45.
Look who's betting. It's Rui Cal. He's got a pair of 9s. So Romain, he's got to open and a straight draw on a paired board. It's a pretty small bet. You think about why did Rui Cal just lead really small? And he's actually going to lay this one down. I think he's thinking that sometimes Rui Cal has a hand like pocket 9s or king, queen, and the king would make him a straight but give Rui Cal full house. Just like, you know what, let registration close.
Yeah, and one thing you have to consider there is the fact that you might have to call a turn. And if you hit the king of clubs, you're going to have to face a big bet. Like that's all a possibility with Rui Cal, and that's why sometimes he's able to pick up so many pots. People just don't want to deal with the headache sometimes.
Yeah. And it's funny, usually in these, that kind of
and then all in. Call all in for everybody fucking.
It was kind of cool to see that he took the lead in a raised pot on these paired boards, which doesn't happen as much. Usually it's the limp pot.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the perfect flop.
你从哪里来？法国来？
日本。
好玩吗？
好玩。
我带他出去玩怎么不好玩？
东京啊。
去的滑雪的，去的东京。你先带你去滑雪去。
我不会啊。
是啊，教你。不一定哪条道上就摔了啊。带你在简单道慢慢教，然后突然一下。
我去过一次，我觉得我不喜欢这个东西。
这个东西跟雪开始谁都不喜欢。
我就觉得又冷，又衣服又重，动作又慢，就不知道就是乐趣在哪里，可能还没感受到。
对，特别好玩，
特别好玩，
特别，我觉得特别唯一的好玩的运动，不爱运动唯一的好玩的东西。
单板好玩，双板好玩，单板好玩的对吧？
双板好玩一点，我觉得。
一个什么是易学难精，就是说
单板。开始第一个星期难一点，
后面就容易一点，
后来就容易一点。
就双板是开始很简单，后面很难。我听说是这样，但是没有感受到乐趣。
单板开始一星期很难。
He just opened 156,000. He's like, I want to continue my conversation. 156,000. Bjorn Lee's got pocket jacks. He's going all in. He's like, Rui Cal just does too much random stuff.
Yep.
So all in a call.
就跟欧林一样嘛，省得拿大码嘛。我这中间靠我。
That's so hard because against somebody else you might think, well, you know, it's under the gun. All that stuff kind of goes out the window when you play against Rui.
你已经想好输了，没事，我有个 K 的，你可以赢的。
I like how a guy that plays cash games that high is still sweating every single all-in, asking for cards.
It's like happy.
Yeah.
不买保险。
告诉你不买，可以买的。好了。
So Bjornlee's been eliminated. Can still get in there. We got 64 entries so far. We got 65 entries in event number 1, half the buy-in. Prize pool practically doubled.
Do we flip on it or we wait?
你又开始嘚瑟了，哪里又赢那么多钱
？I'm not
没
sure.
啊，什么局？
Yeah, yesterday they were like have a little bit different ruling. Like if they have 7 people on the other table, then we're supposed to wait.
我不用钱的，都存着，所以看上去。
If they have 6 people, I think we're supposed to deal. But who knows?
Break this table.
Yeah, or move us out of here.
你这他妈的怎么赢我的吗？我听说了，一个 chip leader 刚开始啊，一个70万，10万打到70万，他60万。 我 A 他10下不来 A。
So I think that Arnaud may have may have won out at Rico.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
这种情况 snap call 又不下。你输给他无所谓，反正你也不。
So just the table's a bit short-handed. They're waiting for new players. Registration is still open for this level. Entries are still possible.
This is some deep stacked short deck.
This is event number 2, 65,000 USD. Live from the landing casino from Jeju Xinhua World. Yeah, everyone's just kind of walking around. Action will be back up shortly.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. We saw also guys like Ivan Liao out in the field. I mean, it's pretty much everybody that's here already is playing this tournament.
And more players.
Yeah. We haven't even seen so many faces. Oh, there's Robert Flink.
He might be coming over to the feature table.
He busted in an insane pot. It actually propelled EU to the chip lead.
Yeah, it was 10-8-6. Wai Long Chan flopped the nuts. Flink had top set of 10s. And you made a big play with Jack 9, opening straight draw and scooped the pot.
Yeah.
It was the biggest pot of the tournament at that time during day 2. You ended up finishing 2nd place in event number 1. Champion was Justin Bonamo, who I believe is playing this tournament. He was deciding to see how he does in event number 1, and well, if you ship it, seems like you're pretty good to go for event number 2.
Yeah, Justin's saying he wasn't sure yet. It was his 4th experience playing a short deck tournament or playing short deck in general. And as soon as he won it, he said he couldn't possibly skip event number 2.
Yeah, Justin did win 600,000 US dollars.
Really? Are you serious? Are you serious? I prefer short deck, except heads up. Against SC.
That's a lot of chips there for Robert Flink.
Alright, so don't worry, 174. He's got more than 174,000. Fix those graphics soon for you. Joanna hoping for some raises behind him, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Excellent time to limp when Rika was on the dealer button.
Yeah, he will go for it occasionally. Top set. No one really has much that can call bet. It's a pot-sized bet in there.
I like it. People peel a lot with hands like King Jack, King Queen, Jack 10. You're gonna get much action. You're not even doing too bad against Queen Jack anyway.
Yeah, redraw to a bigger hand.
I think the biggest concern is just really getting flush draws to pay a lot.
Yeah, because flush draws, they'll come along for sure.
Yeah, and they're a problem because you can't redraw against them like a no limit hold'em.
不用，任何的香港牌照车都可以申请。
啊？好派吗？
但是不能开进澳门，只能开到那个人工岛，然后就进关了。就停在
桥上开一开。
就停在澳门的停车场嘛。
停在那里。啊。哦。
比坐船方便嘛，就你什么时候都想去就可以去。
你一般现在住在香港对吧？
对，全部住在香港。
住在哪里？
嗯，你要在抓瓦。
你怎么知道？
住在。
Oh, so many chips, Robert.
Yeah.
Jack 10 suited for Rui Cao. He's gonna call.
Check.
住在沙巴哥隔壁。
就是那个四季。
不是，他不住在四季，
不是住在哪里？
I like this table.
租的好吗
this table.
Yeah.
Check. I also check.
So no one has a good piece here. Actually, 3 players have absolutely nothing.
Wow. Rui Cao, best hand with bottom pair.
No. I saw she's.
Okay, so Flink turns the set.
Yeah, he has to check with the camera.
And Rui Cao's the one betting. Fortune's a little bit late. Flink is gonna raise here with a set. He doesn't think people will check through Queen 10.
flop 没人打，正常敲到你都能打的。
Does extract some extra money there with his check. Pretty nice for him. He made a few extra antes.
I don't know, you mean raising the bottom with it, so
Trapping. Trapping himself.
yeah, good thing. So chancy, you raise bottom.
Another player coming in.
Oh, that's action.
Yeah, Rui Cao flops a set. Bets out 20,000. Flink, top pair in a straight draw. In position. Take one off.
Gets there. And he has the jack of spades as well. So that means the 10 of spades wouldn't be any good to Rui.
Check, check. It's a full house. Rui Cao looking to get some value. That's around the pot. Tricky spot because it doesn't really look like Flink has a straight too much to check back so quickly.
Yeah.
Pays it off.
Nice hand for Rui.
That was actually some pretty good value. Pot size bet.
短牌比赛好像没有短牌现金好玩嘛？你觉得呢？
长牌一样。 本来比赛就没有先进好。
不是，他老是要数多少个盲注，你多少出嘛，就很麻烦的嘛。
对，
老是想。
长牌也一样，总是多少。
So there's Xian Ong. He's back in it. Saw him event number 1. Looks like he's got a fresh stack.
Ricao limping a lot of very playable hands. Saw limp 10s in the hijack. King Queen now too.
2个法国人
不是法国人，是法国语。
2个法语，2个专业的。
Everybody gets a little piece here. Romain, of course, needs a 6. The jack is no good, as we know, but also in his mind, he's not really thinking about a jack. Folds the hand.
So the ace is actually a pretty scary card for ST here. Bottom 2 pair. Rui just gonna keep betting. I think this is actually like, kind of does everything. It's a bit of a value bet. Don't want to kind of check, you know. It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it takes control of the pot, and a lot of time you see that people don't really have a bluffing opportunity on the river because they check the turn, and you kind of solve that issue by just betting a lot of turns. But you can just represent a lot of stuff, and look at the amount of pressure he puts here on bottom 2 pair. Wow, great call.
Attention dealers, you can start your shuffle, please complete and you're on. Otherwise, raise the blinds, ante of 8,000, bottom 16,000. Registration and re-entries are now closed.
Gets there. Yeah, Rui Cao's got the best hand.
If the hand is currently playing on level 8,
so Rui Cao
you're eliminated from this tournament, can you please notify
checks it.
The supervisor if you like to re-enter.
roll your eyes. Blinds are up. Bryn Kenny just bought into the tournament, it looks like. I think he did this last time in event number 1.
No more rebuys, right?
Different outfit today. So the blinds will be 8,000, 16,000. There's going to be no more re-entries. This tournament has officially passed event number 1 in field size and prize pool. We'll get that official number up shortly. Looks like there's 67 players. We had 65 players in event number 1. And the buy-in has been doubled. So we're likely to see a prize pool for first over $1 million. ST Wang all in with ace queen. Ong Xian here, queen 8 offsuit. Can't really give any action, so he's gonna fold.
Oh. Now 是几个？自己算32个。
那我自己都算不好，旁边我还得帮你算。
是你职业的呀。最近玩什么游戏吗？打枪，打手枪。
就打堡垒之夜。
堡垒之夜。
So action on ST Zhu Wang, Queen Jack suited. He's gonna ship it all in.
Oh.
Pocket aces and pocket kings. This is a huge pot.
Wow, one French guy is gonna have a lot of
call.
chips.
Yes, 我还没 call 了。
And registration is closed. Rui count in of aces.
Yeah.
Romain has pocket
他
kings.
那个也是红桃，不是。这好像我也赢了。
Yes, we're rooting for you. We like the underdog.
直接来个8、9、10。
No, I like the ace. Just put the ace.
还是
什么8、8、9、8、8、9不行，8、8、9也还可以吧。
8、9差不多，比 pre-flop 好像。
9总是好大。
Queen Jack 10. ST's out in front, but both players have a club.
Chop pot.
Wow, wait a minute. Wait, what's the percentage now?
不过这个牌不发勾我也赢不了吧，对吧？不发勾。
ST's actually in last place,
Percentage now?
equity-wise.
K10都不行。
Everyone is sleeping now?
King's behind, right? King's behind.
Wow, turn card is a king.
Queen behind.
哎，我还行，比我别。
Romain makes top set.
我靠！
River card's a queen.
我他妈最后一名。
So Romain is going to scoop this pot.
Ace or 10?
ST makes a full house and is eliminated. Pocket ace has been cracked.
10 is good.
And registration just closed.
Cover, right?
I don't know, 5, 7. I don't know much. Oh, you have a loss, right?
No.
Pop, such a
Like a
sick
million
pot.
something.
Wow.
Fucking Romain kills me, huh? One out me, king, ace is me, king, and
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Underset versus, you know, bigger set.
tell me, I have like 900 something.
This is a million.
It's,
Million plus.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, 30.
Alright, he got a.
Crazy.
I queen 10 with diamonds too.
I had ace 10.
Hell king.
Yeah,
I had ace 10.
Yeah, that's stupid spot. It's very stupid spot,
Fuck,
Wow.
shit leader.
You got like
Massive.
half the chips on the table.
Yeah.
That's
So brutal.
nice hand though.
What are best friends for?
Yeah.
Yeah, best friends.
kidding me, but
Two huge hands that overset.
sounds pretty good for.
So Romain Arnaud's going to be
Okay.
probably a chip leader of the tournament.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Was on TV.
Yeah, bottom.
That is pretty.
Yeah, what happens to bot then? It moves?
I guess, yeah.
It was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how it works.
Must be here. Otherwise, he would have the double ante twice. Right. And can't have the dead button because we need the double ante. How does it work in the cash game?
Right?
How does it work in the cash game?
Yeah, 4.
I think it stays, but honestly,
Huh?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Then who do the double ante?
I don't know. Like it's weird with antis, obviously. It looks-
No, I think it's fair to move.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
he would have to do it twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. You have a fresh stack, right?
Yeah.
So Bryn Kenny did just buy into the tournament. We don't know the whole cards of the players, so we're gonna assume someone probably doesn't have a piece on Queen 8-8. There we go. Okay, so Flink's got top pair. Juan taking a stab of pocket nines. The board is Queen 8-8, 2 clubs. Turn card is the ace. Both players have a club. John Juana probably knows he's behind. Just needs to think if he can get a queen to fold. Checks it back. Check, check. Flink's gonna win another pot.
Okay.
Get some black for me.
Yeah, sure.
So there's Bryn Kenny.
Thank you.
2 million chips. That's pretty much like a final table chip count. Ong Shan, Queen Jack. Gonna take a flop. Attempt to at least. Bryn Kenny, Ace King. So only got 31 antes. Wouldn't surprise me if he just shoves all in right here.
Hello. Congratulations.
So he does shove.
Second, right? I fold.
Burn this money. Burn it away.
I wasn't watching. How was the chip situation when you get down to heads up? And him? Hmm? Out of 12 million? Oh, he had 12 million, yes, 6 million. Oh, okay. He had your chip.
So action on Bryn Kenny. Try to see a flop here of 9-8 offsuit. So registration is closed. Flink's gonna open it up. Flink is rumored to be a very good short deck player. Makes it 60,000.
Big laydown.
Looks like Flink is playing about 1.3 million is my guess. Maybe 1.2 million. So there's Yu Wei Xiang. He was the second place finisher, runner-up in event number 1.
60.
Flink gets pocket aces. Ace-9 offsuit, too weak, that's gonna fold. Juanda, 7-8 of diamonds. It's not that great of a hand. They do have very deep stacks, though. He will have to play out of position if he wants to continue. Juanda is thinking about it. All right, he's going to take a flop here. He's seen Flink raise a couple times in position, so he's a bit suspicious. If a hand like 7-8 suited, he knows how to react on a lot of boards. If it comes high cards, he's just going to give up. Wow, he flops a flush draw on a paired board. And Flink has pocket ace. It's actually quite scary for Flink. $168,000 in the middle. So it goes check, check. The very deep stack, so he doesn't want to get raised. Turn card is a 9. It gives Juanda more straight outs. He could hit a 6 or a jack. 39% to win it. Once he sees Flink check back the flop, with this kind of a draw, it's pretty tempting to bet. You can easily think that Flink doesn't have a queen to check back here. So Juanda going for a big bet. You can get a lot of better hands to fold, like ace king. He knows he's out of position with a good draw. It's not going to get Flink to fold, it looks like. Carded 7, so Juanda does not get there. He would need to bluff Flink off of this pot if he wants to win it. So Juanda is trying to think, can he represent a queen? Can he represent like king jack? Queen 10. He knows his opponent raised preflop and check back queen, queen 10. A lot of people who check back queen, queen 10, they don't have a queen too often. So Juanda is thinking about it. There's a lot of chips in the middle. River card was a 7. Should be about 400,000 in the middle. There's a check. Flink, pocket aces. Trying to think, is there a point in betting?
Okay, check.
Check, check. This is event number 2 to 65,000 short deck ante-only event. Registration just closed recently. John Juanda going to shove. after losing that last pot. Don't know his whole cards. All right, so blinds are 8,000, 16,000.
All in.
Joanna back-to-back all-ins. Early position. It's about 70 antes. Hong Xian here, Jack 10 offsuit. He's playing about 31 antes. He's gonna lay it down. It's another takedown. I believe Tom Dwan did arrive today to Jeju. You can follow the Triton Poker. They've got social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Do follow all the channels. We're going to be streaming every day at the same time. Tomorrow will be day 2 of this event. Then we got the 500,000 6 max event. There's Flink. He's got 2 million in chips. I'm not sure if he's got 2 million. A little bit less, actually. All right, quick call. Bryn Kenny at risk of ace-10. Flank's got ace-king suited, dominating Bryn Kenny. Bryn Kenny, his tournament could be pretty short if he doesn't hit a 10 soon. He flops 2 pair. You know, the hand that gets it in behind is much more likely to happen in short deck. Flink needs a king to eliminate Kenny. Turn card is a queen, so now you can hit a jack, queen, or king.
Jack. It's an interesting turn card.
The dodge, the face card.
Third of the deck, I win.
36%, always a sweat. Card is a 6, it's a blank. Bryn Kenny gonna double up here.
$260.
Yeah.
Take a look at some chip counts. Arnaud Romain's got 2 million in chips. Robert Flink is behind him. Hong Xian is the table short stack. Registration is closed and no one can re-enter. The runner-up is in 3rd place at this table. All right, looks like all the chips are going in here for Ong Qian.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm looking. I'll put it there. Okay, like this, yeah. How much is that?
260-ish.
268.
So 9-8 suited for Juanda. He's been splashing a bit. Registration is closed, so he's going to lay that one down. Flink A7 suited. One of the worst aces, got us pitched at as well.
Juanda really is tempted to call with hands like that every time.
Yeah, he made a bluff that didn't work earlier and then shoved the next 2 hands for 70 antes each. We didn't actually see the whole cards, but see Juanda really mixing it up right now.
You're asking. Brain, do you remember they used to just put a glass here where they could like see your cards from the bottom of the table?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like
Isn't that even better than
Premier
this?
League and stuff.
Huh?
They had that on like the Premier League and stuff.
Right. Do they have like the pattern for that or something?
That's probably better, yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be better.
Seems to be better, right?
Why is it better?
Huh?
You mean more?
Because you don't have to put it like over here,
Yeah.
like
They
wherever
just,
like it
these
has
is just
it.
normal cards. They use like a dark glass here,
Yeah.
transparent, so they put the camera on the bottom
Yeah.
so they can see it.
In a total of 69 entries,
Yeah, a lot of the time the readers don't get it.
We're going to pay 8 spots with 8th player finisher receiving 1.3
Oh, sorry.
million, and the winner will receive 9,730,000 Hong Kong dollars. Best of luck, everyone.
All right, so a total of 69 entries.
Yeah, really nice field.
Yeah, double the buy-in, a bigger field than event number 1. I think they said about 9.5 million Hong Kong dollars for first.
Wow.
So I'm thinking that's about 1.2 million USD.
Correct.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really nice. I think last year was the same. The opening event was the only event, I believe, with the first place less than 1 million. It's just hot and heavy.
So Juanda shoves
Yeah,
ace
I can
queen
help you out a
suited.
bit. 450 for 70. 500.
No. Change of deck.
Good to see you at the table.
So good at JRB story. So good at JRB story when they play with a short deck without noticing.
Oh, yeah.
You say GRB? What was he doing?
He told me this story. He told us this story in Nego where they played. Him and his group, they played, you know, normal hold-up, and without realizing they were playing with a short deck. Because the dealer didn't know or something. So they played like 30 minutes without realizing they're playing with a short deck. It's like all these setups all the time. Everyone gets fucking premium hands and just keep playing. Like, oh my god, so sick.
Wait. Did they like play with the short deck rule or not? Because the
No.
ace matters.
No, they didn't. They just kept playing and just seeing all these fucking aces over kings and one-outers and
So
shit.
the ace didn't count as a 5, eh?
No, they just
That's funny.
no hit a flush ever and stuff.
That's pretty funny. So JRB was playing no limit hold'em with a short deck, no 5s, 4s, 3s. They didn't realize it. Came,
Yeah,
you know how you
that's
play
funny.
flush draws aggressively,
Yeah.
it never
The
gets
dealer
there.
should
Yeah.
notice, right? I mean, the deck is like so much lighter. No, I think he's probably just making.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah. I love the story.
Everyone was playing for sure.
I mean, I can see it
It is a
happen.
nice story. Do I like it?
Yeah, it's the dealer's handling the
Yeah,
cards.
someone
Yeah.
had to realize and not
Yeah.
say anything for sure.
I mean, it's gonna feel very weird when you're shuffling the
The
deck.
dealer definitely.
Like, they can't use a shuffler machine for that.
Yeah, but the dealer, I mean, you've been dealing for so many years. You hold the card, you kind of know.
Yeah, but
It might
it's
be
like,
the dealer knew or something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want
At
to.
least the dealer.
I don't know. Want to ruin his story. Like, it's too good.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
So yeah, during event number 1, when Flink sat down at the table at the very start, you know, I was saying that I played a long time ago with him and that he played online a lot. But from his interaction with all these players, like everybody seems very familiar with him. So I think that this guy has just been grinding in underground cash games, or maybe in Macau, or in the same kind of games as these guys for a while now.
Yeah, and this is some high stakes, so it seems like all the high stakes guys here know each other. And you guys might not be too familiar with them, but these are like excellent world-class players. On to the hand. Flink is the one betting with just ace-10 high. Ong Shan's got bottom pair. Lays down the best hand.
Yeah, we see people consistently just throw away bottom pair. It's just one of those. It's really not worth it. Whatever. It's not. It's kind of a pick your battle situation.
Empty, please.
Kings here under the gun. We know Yu likes to really limp these. We've watched him play for 2 days.
So action on Bryn Kenny. Going to check. Kings are very well disguised. Top set.
Wow.
Now Romaine's got bottom pair, and the backdoor nut flush draw. He's gonna go for it. Get some hands to fold. Bryn Kenny, bottom pair. He's gonna lay it down with a straight draw. Top set got tricky. The question is, does he check raise or does he just call? There's the check raise.
Yeah, it's not even a big problem that somebody folds a hand like ace-9 here, because those hands aren't going to continue many turns anyway when they get called on a flop like this.
Yeah, you can actually maybe incorrectly fold on later streets. It becomes like, say, the 10 or jack, or a heart comes. So you do want to kind of bloat the pot a little bit. Juanda pocket sevens first position. Try to sneak in there.
Sorry, it's a mistake. Oh.
Bryn Kenny wakes up pocket aces.
Wow, look at these hands.
Yu's got pocket queens right behind him. Yeah, let's check those aces again. Yep, still there. So does he make it like 80,000? Just shoves.
Wow. That's actually so incredibly balanced.
Yeah, that is balanced.
And it's fair. It's 60 antes.
Pocket queens. This is going to be a tough to get away from, I think. Yeah, he's all in. Actually gonna get in bad. One of the queens are dead from flink.
Oof, yeah. Don't expect to see aces like that.
Sick.
He was like, wait, I just got second in a tournament. How's this happening to me right now?
Yeah. They're like, double to buy-in. Well, he can still hit a queen. He can still hit a straight. It's still possible. Let's see what kind of flop comes. King 10. Well, it's got more like 7% because there's only one queen left. One more card to go.
Doesn't do it. It's a big pot for Kenny.
Yeah, Bryn Kenny just bought in at the literal last second for 300,000 chips. It's got 1.1 million, more than most of the players here.
It's a lot better than he did last year, buying in at the very last moment.
Yeah, he played like, what, one hand?
One hand, yeah.
Literally. Didn't even fold a hand before.
No.
And then he played event number 1 earlier. I think he lasted maybe 10 minutes or so. This time, doing all right. I like that he just keeps coming back and just keep firing. Learn the game. You know he's an excellent player that adapts quickly. The food menu.
Oh, no.
What's Bryn Kenny going to pick?
It's like 5 hours since I ate. Wow, yeah, that's true.
It's midnight and Bryn Kenny's on the food menu. Shan really looking for a spot. He's really short stack. Bryn Kenny ace-8 suited. Actually haven't seen him play deep stack short deck, so this will be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yu Wei, table short stack. He's all in with 10-9 offsuit. Looking for a spot to chip up. About 20 antes. If he can get his opponents to fold, nope, it doesn't happen. Bryn Kenny makes the correct call, but he's not really that far ahead. I'm thinking it's like a coin flip. I don't know the true odds.
I think so. I think that's very close.
Yeah. Wow, I still has 40%. Just with 10 high. Okay, that he improved on the turn. 46%. Card's a queen. The runner-up of event number 1 has been eliminated. Bryn Kenny just keeps stacking chips.
Hi.
What percent is that pre-flop? They say it's suited, there's 10 off.
They flip?
Yeah, thought so.
Like, if you're not sure, you'll say flip.
Yeah, like
it's like always a flip.
Yeah, like 90% of the hand.
Like 5% favorite or so.
Just flip.
I learned something. If you're not sure what the odds are, it's a flip.
When you're in doubt, just move
What's like
on.
ace king versus ace queen?
It's probably a flick too.
65?
If Justin Bonamore have the ace queen.
Easier to chop as well with ace high.
Yeah, Bryn Kenny's trying to get information. Everyone's just trolling him. It's just a flip.
It's a flip if you're Justin Bonomo.
I think I was thinking it was higher because I think I saw Ace King hold versus like Ace Jack and Ace Queen and like Ace Jack hold versus King Jack maybe like 8 times in a row yesterday.
It could be results oriented too.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not the largest sample I've ever heard.
Okay, so 2 garbage hands going at it.
These are true garbage hands indeed. But they're in the 2 worst positions at, or the 2 best positions at the table, so it makes sense that they're looking at a flop.
Joanda going to put some chips out there. On to the next hand.
This table is deep. Massive stack. Too big. This hour.
So here's the now current short stack Ong Xian, Queen 10 offsuit under the gun. Tricky spot with his stack size.
Please complete the hand round, otherwise you can send your players for a 15-minute break. Once again, we're gonna have a chip raise. The 1,000 value chips, so one player shoot a ball.
Running good, huh?
Running good indeed. So far, Queen 10 very live against Ace King. Will have, what, 43, 44%?
Yeah, I would say it's about 43, 44%. As long as you're not dominated. So Bryn Kenny has reshoved.
Robert, can I start you?
Yeah.
Or whoever
15.
to buy. This is like...
Is that right? No, it's much more.
It's like 30, I think.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Nice business, though.
Yeah, yeah.
100% profit.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ong Xian gonna need to hit some cards. Comes a flop. Okay, so not a great flop. Bryn Kenny has one of the kings that he needs, 23%. Turn card's the king.
Wow.
So Bryn Kenny now needs to catch up. 14%. Again, it's a turn river.
That's sick.
That's crazy.
So many
Starting to
showdowns
become
like
standard.
this. Yeah. It's such a roller coaster. I think the best thing to do is just close your eyes and scan the board. I mean, there's no fun in that, but
yeah, it really has been turn and river every single time.
Shot deck is fun, right?
The 1000s are gone now?
Brain, shot deck is fun, right?
Yeah. When you win all ins, for sure.
He wasn't so fun yesterday, but it's fun today.
Everyone having a good time. Blinds are 10,000 ante next level. Ong Xian's been eliminated. We'll be back soon. If you knew this was going to happen, then actually the min-raise is a great play.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. It's like, all right, everybody, say what you actually have, because this is not a big enough raise to call with strong hands.
So here we go.
Maybe that's like the sickest play. Oh.
Well, we know one jack is gone from the deck, so the equity is lower. Card is a 10.
Well, jack's no good anymore, but does increase in some outs.
You could have seen. You could have busted it instead.
River card is a 7. Ben Lamb's eliminated in 7th place for about 100,000 USD.
Always a pleasure to see Ben Lam play.
That's such a different hand. That hand could have been so. He just ships it himself.
Ships it, yeah.
I think I have to call, man.
Yeah, they would be coin flipping.
I think I have to call.
All right, here we go. So Chua Ying Lin is at risk of ace king.
Anyone take my out? Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Anyone take queen? Oh, no queen now, please.
So 28% to hit an ace or a king.
Smoke up this.
King is interesting card.
Yeah. I'm happy with a queen. If you're king.
One more card to go for Lin.
It's on the river. It's on the river.
And Lin's been eliminated in 6th place for 126,000. He was one of the more aggressive players. Sometimes things don't work out.
Thanks for the game. Good luck.
Yeah, he's very good spirits. I like to see that. I'm guarantee you this guy's jumping straight into event number 2, the 500K short deck. Likely, unless it's pocket 10s. Does he have pocket 6s? That's an unlikely hand to even play pre-flop. It definitely wouldn't shove now.
4-4-95.
The most likely hand he's up against is a flush if he was behind. It is possible for a flush draw to put the chips, to just check back the flop because of how short the other players are.
You don't have just a 10, do you?
The line is very credible. He's thinking that he would never shove a 10 this way. So he's putting him on a flush or nothing.
Quads.
This is the best hand of the tournament so far. Why lays it down? What an amazing bluff.
Show, one time.
No, you can't show.
Where's our live stream in 30 minutes?
Wow, that was so sick.
Big bluff. Or big hand. Probably second thing.
Oh my gosh. The second place guy puts on a big bluff on a chip leader despite 2 players who's got less than 1 million chips behind. Yu Wei Xiong is showing you how good he is at short deck. He's played perfectly this final table. The only hand he lost was a huge one with ace-king suited against ace. Ace-jack, ace.
That's okay.
I don't take chop anymore.
So Benefield is behind, but he still has 40% to win.
There's few.
Who's ahead here?
Turn card is the 9. Benefield still has one more chance, so he's eliminated in 5th place.
6? No, 6.
There's the queen. Benefield is going to double up to 1.9 million chips. Lebedev continuing the downswing from the chip lead. He's got 5 million chips remaining.
And then G spot.
$865.
865?
So.
King, king 8. 2 aces left in the deck. Turn card is the 7. Can now hit a 9 to make a straight. There's the 10. So Chun's gonna be our 5th place finisher. He really grinded it out.
Good game.
Yeah, played very solidly. I think that he did really well, considering that Benefield was the short stack at the table for so long.
Eliminated in 5th place. It's 162,000 USD. To get called twice on his board and your opponent still bets on you on this card, it does look pretty strong.
Yeah.
He's really thinking about it, and the more you think about it, the worse it is for you.
Yeah, the worse it gets.
Because now you're trying to think of hands that beat you. If you think about bluffs, there's not many obvious bluffs out there. You've got the 10 of hearts. So you do bluff some of those like heart combos that might make some moves like this. This is a very important pot. You actually thinks he's hero calling here. He's considering a fold or a call. He's not considering shoving.
How sick must that question, by the way, have been for Dave Benefield? Do you have ace king? Like, you know how sick that is when
Yeah.
when your opponent's thinking.
Makes the call. I was like, oops, I slow rolled you. No, I mean, I understand how he's thinking, because Benefield is definitely very likely to actually have those bigger full houses.
Yeah.
It's king.
I mean, he put him on a full house. He was right. You know?
Yeah.
So his read of strength was correct.
And there is a lot of full houses out there. Pocket kings as well. Although he does beat pocket. It's going to be annoyed.
Yeah. I also don't think he expects Justin to have ace-8, ace-9 type of hands that often.
Sometimes you have this hunch, but then you're like, oh, if I'm wrong, there's so many chips I lose.
A gem, you fool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ace-8? Don't do that.
Call me yourself.
Get ace-queen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't talk to me. Okay, so they would have actually chopped it unless the queen comes, but Benefield needs a queen, or he's out of this tournament.
Yeah, let's not forget what's at stake here.
River card is a 10. Benefield out in 4th place. He really did fight for it. Gets 210,000. I thought he played great.
Yeah, I think so too. He really showed a really good grind. Picked a lot of spots. Wasn't afraid to bet, call, and bluff. And he just got incredibly unlucky in the jacks. hands are very tough to play after the flop. So if you have the option of just taking it down with hands like ace-10, that's very preferable.
All in.
There you go. It's gonna get... Snap calls. All right, there we go, guys. We're heads up. So this all-in could be the end of the tournament. Yue Xiong with the advantage, though. Bonomo's going to need a 10 to lock up this victory. His first victory of 2019, I believe. You know, it's a very dangerous thing to say. Stacks could be swapping around here if Yu's hand does hold. Changes nothing, except for the fact that Bonomo actually wants to see a queen. Look at that, 37%. 24% to window, so the ties are included there, as you see to the right. 24%. 8 of clubs. Oh my goodness, he just gets there. No, Yue Xiong, big reel here. All these guys, friends. It's a 10 to chop. This is terrible news for him. Doesn't do it. Justin Bonomo, winner of the first event here, Jeju, South Korea. Triton Series 2019 getting kicked off. All right, welcome back, guys. We're here at day one of the $64,000 short deck event, live here from Shinra World Resort, Landing Casino. Ready to see some action. Last 2 levels of the day, we'll be covering both. Longdale Broadcasting here. And we've seen so much action today, it's definitely been worth it. Very fun tables to sweat.
Yeah, small recap is Justin Bonomo won event number 1. And now we've doubled the stakes. We've got 69 entries in event number 2, double the buy-in. First is going to get about 1.2 million US dollars. And we're going to have some even bigger prize pools in the future. This week, me and Lex will be streaming the action every single day. You can watch all the action with us.
I like this pattern, Randy. I like this pattern. Just sweating insanely high stakes action together.
Yeah, and it's really relaxing. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Have fun with us. Cards will be underway shortly. 2 more levels.
69 players total registered for this tournament. Buy-in is, or registration period is closed now. There we see the winner of event number 1. In the middle there, Justin Bonomo took home $600,000, his 4th short deck tournament ever.
Sitting right there. Got a new featured table. Isaac Haxton,
These are the small cards.
Jason Kuhn, Justin Bonomo, Wai Long Chan.
I'm cool with that. Good point, I didn't realize that.
Okay, back from the break, we're all in.
Can I see your chips?
Yeah, sure.
So Shunu Zhang, you might not know this guy. He's one of my favorite players.
Oh yeah?
He's another one of these Chinese players that a lot of people don't know about, but he plays the highest stakes, aggressive. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh wow, that's great. I haven't seen him play before.
Yeah.
Shunu Zhang. So, Ike opening the action here for a 75 end shove.
Sorry.
That's a good move. Think for a while, and then while you're thinking, you can pull back your blind.
Sorry. Hey, look over there.
Don't put your mic in a bag of chips.
I know.
That's hilarious. Nobody's gonna know what anybody had that in because we weren't using our RFID cards. Now we are.
That's okay. I mean, it was a pre-flop takedown. I think we'll survive.
One through there, baby.
We got
By the
3
way,
Americans.
to thank you first for pointing out that we should be at the feature table, and again for pointing out that we should have the big cards.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm really
They
killing
appreciate
it.
it very much.
I'm the worst. You know what I hate? People knowing what I have. Oh.
You know what else I hate? That thing that's about to happen in 3 minutes
every
from now.
time.
Bonomo, Isaac Haxton, Jason Kuhn, they play with each other a lot. Pretty much all over the world. I think they've got minimum history with Shunu Zhang, so it should be fun to watch. Doesn't really play tournaments.
Yeah, this is sort of typically a lineup I really like. You have a very solid player from the Asian scene in Walong Chen. They have 3 animals from NA, and then you have a very aggressive player from China with them. This is the table setup I really, really enjoy.
All right, so pot is limped. Pretty weak holdings out there. King 9-8. 10-9 is the best hand, but on this board it doesn't look too hot. Just put a small bet out there, try to clear out the field. So Shunu here, 8-6.
Forgot your tip, Jason.
Doesn't really think he's ahead that often, but he sees the small bet. He's a little bit interested. Got pretty deep stacks.
I'm so excited about seeing him play now after your intro. I'm just hoping to find another Ten Xuan out there, you know. The boss of all bosses.
So Ike is going to pick up that pot, but you can see he was thinking about it there, so, you know, something's happening in that brain. It's Triton Poker Ambassador Jason Kuhn.
Fold.
It's fun to have Jason at the table. Like we said earlier, him and Ben Lam share a lot of the same kind of live table presences. Very talkative, makes small comments about hands, small talk with people. It's very easily listening and just very fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly right.
You kind of flow better from hand to hand, you know what I mean? Because people kind of talk about the last hand a little bit, then they'll give a comment, then there'll be a little thing, they interact during the hand. It just makes for a very, very fun flow, and it seems like every hand is something different, even if people are folding pre-flop or folding flops and stuff.
So there is the event #1 champion, Justin Bonomo, sitting on 1.3 million chips. He's looking for back-to-back ships, I suppose. Wai Long Chan, 10-9 offsuit, one of the most solid Malaysian players. Gonna raise it up. It's not gonna work against Haxton. He's got pocket queens. They're very deep stacked. Does Isaac just want to ship this in? Try to take down to equity?
Hello.
All in.
He does shove.
It's actually a really good massage.
Pretty decent pickup there for Ike. I like the all-in. You have one guy to beat, and there's quite a few antes out there. And of course, it's a lot to shove, but you still have queens, and it's just kind of a nightmare to play very deep post flop.
Yeah, you don't want to 3-bet to like say 240,000, get called, king high board, ace high board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, even when you flop an overpair, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
it can be
Jack
terrifying.
8-9.
Yeah.
Okay. So what now?
7-8 suited for Shunu. He's gonna let that one go. Sam Greenwood. All right. He's got a lot of chips.
You're like $1 million exactly?
That looks about right.
A million chips. What do you do against that? All right, you just call. 7-6 offsuit, definitely into kind of bored. You just want to see a free flop, 36%. Top pair, inside straight draw. Checks.
Yeah, it's like the best you can hope for almost for Jason's hand.
Yeah, 7-6. It's actually a decent flop. It's got 46%. He knows that the pair of 6 is very vulnerable. It's worth betting, turn into a bluff. Don't expect Haxton to fold top pair in this kind of a position.
Two players in the hand. Top pair, top kicker.
Comes the call. You know how you say, man, there's so many bad turn cards? This is one of those cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the passive player, it's easy to get blown off your pairs.
Yeah, Queen 10, Jack 10, Queen Jack. Those are all hands that could be betting the flop.
You know, hands like King 10 and King Jack actually would have like, well, he just leads. It's a small lead. Trying to freeze the action, stop his opponent from making some kind of big play at him.
Yeah.
Not very common. Jason Koon's trying to figure out what are you check call leading with for such a small bet. He's going to call here because he thinks that he can react on the river based on what Haxton does. He gets there. Kind of a scary board though. You're Haxton, you lead the turn, this river card comes, you know your hand is behind.
Yeah.
But you're very tempted to maybe take a stab because you know pair of nines is never good. Just trying to figure out what Koon had. Does Koon have like two pair? If he thinks he's got two pair, then this would be a good board to bluff against. How often does Jason Koon have a jack? Giving up.
It's really hard to play this out of position. Now Jason has to wonder, how often does Ike have a jack?
Yeah, and checks it here. And how often does he actually call with worse? Like, would Haxton call with two pair? If he wouldn't, then you should probably check just in case your opponent has a jack.
I'll go for some value.
There we go.
Oh, it looks like a.
It's a nice value bet.
Ike lets it go quickly. Very nice player.
Stacking chips. $1.2 million.
All right, guys, we're still sweating the action here. We're in event number 2, 64K. We saw Justin Bonomo take down the first event. I think we have a kind of a dream lineup again with Jason Kuhn at the table, Isaac Haxton, Sam Greenwood, and I'm really curious about the Chinese players at the table as well. So what were your takeaways last time about him?
Well, Shunu Zhang doesn't really play too many televised events. He plays the highest stakes. Another Chinese guy that isn't really known, but they like to blast at pots. They do big bluffs and they play big stakes. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think that this is also in a tournament format. Everybody seems very relaxed. It's almost like they play such high stakes together in cash games as well that when it's a tournament, they're more relaxed and they like pushing each other around or something. There's more trash talk too.
Definitely. And, you know, it's going to be fun to watch. I think one of these guys are going to get deep in one of these events this week, and I think you guys are going to get some new fans.
Yeah. I think so too, because I don't know, we're still going to see Ten Xuan in action as well. So I'm looking for also like another, you know, I'm looking for like a power couple of insane Chinese players to watch. So I hope that this is it.
Back to the action. Haxton of Pocket Kings makes 100,000.
Yeah, good hands there. Greenwood limping very strong. Greenwood with 1.5 million.
10-9 suited for Justin Bonomo in position. Super deep stacks.
You know, if the light gets
There's nothing wrong with seeing a flop in position.
If the light's bothering your eyes, anybody.
It's going to make a call. Greenwood now can complete the action, close it. And I tell you, Pocket Kings here, with these stack sizes, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tricky. But not on this board. Top set's pretty good unless someone's got 2 hearts, but it's hard to flop a flush in this game.
Yep.
I think if you're Haxton here, just bet because you gotta protect your hand. Don't want another heart to come out. It's a raised pot, so the 8 and 6, pocket 8s, pocket 6s, pretty unlikely.
Yeah, I'd say so. So another raise to 10 antes, you kind of weed out all those cards.
Yeah, you don't want to give a free card to a random low heart. That's 100,000. Justin Bonomo just has an inside straight draw. Wrong color, so he's going to pitch it. Pretty juicy pot there.
I didn't either.
Right, it's a nice stack increase.
You know about it.
What are ice caps?
It's a, I done a bachelor party in Halifax and needed to buy this from a gas station. But it did the
sweet hat.
At the formal, I don't know if it's like this, but it did the St. John's hockey team, St. John's Newfoundland. So I was hoping to be in the screen with Mad Dog.
It looks like just a tourist.
You needed to buy it from the gas station?
We were going to like a booze cruise thing during the day, and I was very hot out, and it was the only place where I could get a hat on short notice.
I mean, dude, I would order that hat custom. That's a bad hat.
It's not a bad hat.
It's a little tight, but.
Do you have any 25,000 chips?
Yeah, one from one.
Oh.
Jason Kuhn limping ace king. Justin Bonomo jack 8 offsuit. Going to try to get in there. Shunu Zhang 9-7 offsuit. Going to check. Top pair, top kicker. A lot of inside straight draws on his flop. Jason is going to bet about half of the pot. Sucks giving free cards to 2 people in position. So Shunu Zhang can actually hit a 6 to make a straight. Be very disguised. Could make the nuts there. He might be tempted to float in position.
Yeah, gut shots are really powerful. I mean, people call gut shots in position in no limit hold'em, and here it's just that much more powerful.
Okay, just lets it go. It's a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. So in the last 2 levels of the day.
Get out of here. Yeah, it's quick.
Take your dumb hat with you.
Take your dumb hat with you. Wow, rude. That's very nice guy, Isaac, huh? So we've got a limp pot here 4 ways.
So top pair for Justin Bonomo. Shunu Zhang with a gut shot to a nut straight draw possibly.
Bonomo trying to clear the field with a small bet. Shunu Zhang here with king 10. Inside straight draw to the nuts. He's going to lay it down. Playing a bit more passively. He still has multiple players behind him. The more players you have behind you, the less attractive it is because sometimes you put in chips and get raised.
Yeah.
Wylon's actually going to call with mid-pair. The thing is that when you bet small, people tend to call with these hands. The ace is a good card for Bonomo. One of the few. So I'm Bonomo here. I'm thinking, what does my opponent call with? Probably will call a lot inside straight draws. With those inside straight draws, bet if check 2? Doesn't think so. That's why he's value betting himself. Actually, a really small bet, 50,000.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the small bets on the flop, like we saw in the first tournaments. But I think on this turn, it's really good because now you actually want to tempt a queen like this, or you really want to tempt an open and a straight draw to peel again.
Even though Bonomo put a small bet on the turn, Wylon was able to get away from his hand.
Yeah, nice folds.
Yes, like sometimes you're thinking, okay, I think my opponent has a weak hand, so I'm going to bet small. They still get away from it. Guess you can't really trick them.
I think it's really cool. Last time in some of the bigger short deck tournaments, we saw a lot of the very experienced players, Wai Kin Yong, 10 win, and also Wailong that's at this table use those middle pairs very dynamically, put a lot of pressure. They would also float with them. They would bet them a lot. They would check raise. It's really like a key dynamic in this game, it seems.
So there are 20 players remaining of 69. Top 8 will make the money. 1.2 million USD up top for first. This table is actually pretty deep stacked.
Yeah, it really is. That's a good flop for everybody. Jason Kuhn there with the second nut flush draw. Wailong Chen with top pair. And an 8 is a pretty important card there in his hand. And then Isaac Haxton with the open ender.
So Wailong bets half the pot, trying to clear out the field. Both players are actually going to continue here. So he's not going to like his hand too much when he sees that. So Haxton's on the dealer button. Can have any 2 cards. Decides to just call in position. Jason Kuhn, big flush draw. Do you call? Do you play it aggressively? Problem playing aggressively on his flop is it's hard to represent much besides pocket jacks.
True.
So that's why he just calls.
That's an excellent point, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not expected to have 7-6, Jack 7, Jack 6, you know, hands like that. Turn card is a jack. Wailong Chen didn't like that 2 people called him, but when another jack comes out, well, his opponents can't both have a jack. Makes it seem more likely his hand is good. Probably knows that someone's got to draw. Just gonna fire out, get some value.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you bet and you'll see if somebody has a better jack, but you still have to bet because giving away free cards is a disaster.
Especially against 2 players. Haxton's in position of 8-9. The board is paired, which is a bit annoying. So say he hits like a 10 to make a straight. Someone could have Jack 10 and that'll be reverse implied odds. So these are the things he's thinking about. He still has to worry about Jason Kuhn. Price is pretty good though with position. So he's not going to fold just yet. So you're Jason Kuhn here. You see a bet and a call. You probably put someone on at least a jack. One player should have a jack.
Yeah.
And again, if someone's got a boat, you still beat them if you hit a flush.
Exactly. It almost makes it all the more enticing to call, not only because he has the odds, but man, the implied odds here if he hits the heart.
Yeah, so that is why he does call. And someone else could have smaller hearts. It's another point of view to think about.
Yeah.
Or card's a king. Does improve Jason Kuhn, but I think he doesn't actually think it's good. If you're Wailong Chen here, you bet the flop, you bet the turn. Both players have called you. You've got one of the worst kickers.
The worst, actually.
Yeah, the worst, right? Like, I can't think of a worse kicker. He's thinking, do I bet again, or do I just check? It's kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't mind his check.
No, not at all.
Haxton's sitting here with 9 high, but with some bets and calls in front of him, he's got to think someone's got a jack. They're not going to fold. Sometimes you got 9 high, you're like, oh, I just got a bluff, but I wouldn't fault him for checking here. Haxton's thinking if he can represent a big hand.
It's funny because in Kuhn's spot on the turn, you think, oh, I hope somebody has a jack. Somebody probably has a jack. And then you break the heart, you river the king. You're like, oh, I really think somebody has 10. So let's hope they both have a draw. Like this whole different storyline goes off in your head.
If Haxton wants to bluff this, he needs to bluff really big to try to get some jacks to fold.
Yeah.
He's just going to check. Wailong Chan's got to feel pretty good about that hand. Got bet and a call from 2 players on 2 streets. Still wins with no kicker.
Yeah, it's close to, I was going to say, gearing up to go towards 2 million. 1.7 for him.
Yeah, it fell off.
And here we see some chip counts. Weilong Chen there with 170 antes, just a Balamo in second, 122. Shino Zhang is closing out the field at this table with 77 antes, but by no means is he short. Still a very good stack to play with. Some nice interesting spots at this table. Event number 2, finishing out day 1. We're doing it completely with you guys. 12 hours of broadcasting. Very excited to be covering this action. Time flies by really when there's this much action.
So Jason Kuhn on the dealer button, ace queen. He's got 110 antes, so can't really just shove here.
All in.
He actually is going to shove. Just really trying to shut out his opponent because he can't shove, but he did it.
Yeah, that's 110 antes.
Don't call me. Don't call me.
Yeah, he really doesn't want to call. But you know, if 110 antes, your opponent might not call you with queens and ace king because they've put nothing in there.
Yeah.
You just got to dodge the kings and aces.
That might be true.
But, you know, it depends on your opponent. Some players are like ace king all in. It doesn't matter if you put in 300 antes.
That's just out of self-respect. I'm not folding ace king. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that folds ace king on stream.
Yeah, I'll never get in another cash game again.
All right, outer table action, Flink. This is a fun table too, actually. This is a table we had previously. Okay, those are some dumplings. Saw 2 baskets. Mikita Badzikalski on his table. And Kenny's still sitting on about 1 million chips. John Jawanda hanging in there. Pocket jacks for Flink. I think jacks has been some trouble hand for some players. See how he plays it. He's just going to call. Ace King Romain just calls in the cutoff. That is not common. And Badzikalski's got Ace King in the dealer button. You see all this action. Definitely going to raise at least, possibly go all in. He is going to shove. Now we know Kenny's going to fold. Flink's going to get a count.
650. 685?
For 65 antes. This is a lot for pocket jacks. Wow, he reshoves.
Yeah, wow.
Romain snap calls. This is actually a dream scenario for Flink. 2 ace kings.
Yeah. That's such an insane limp from Romain, by the way.
Yeah. Romain's like, I'm going for it right now. 120 antes.
Oh.
I don't care.
Flink running the Sims in his head.
Everybody was trapped. One jack.
Wow, Flink on pace to win a huge pot.
Oh, wow.
He's a dodge diamond. Wurtkart's an ace. Romain running good.
Flink has been busting in some pretty sick hands.
Yeah, Flink. This is a big beat for Flink.
That's 100. Okay,
Actually
so
gets it in really good with jacks, and that's rare.
650. 685. So you put 685 in the middle, and the rest.
It's the dumplings. It was the perfect time. It just came.
You would have been chip leader, bring Kenny.
If I just open shipped it.
Or just call.
Well, so Romain Arnaud still the chip leader. Another huge pot for him.
He's out of position. He's getting extra, right?
Romain got in kings versus aces against Rui Cao. Hit the king. Just hit that river there. Back to the other table. Bonomo's got the nut straight. Jason Kuhn, trip tens. Bonomo's gonna ship that pot.
Could have gone worse.
It's actually much.
You heard him 5K.
Dude, I do this. How many times do I do this per day?
At least you didn't pull money out of the pot like him.
Yeah, that's true.
That is much worse.
225, yes. It's a gnarly one. Super gnarly. Ace 10 of hearts.
Wow.
1.675 million chips for Justin Bonomo. Doing pretty good. He was champion of event number 1.
Short deck.
Short deck.
Justin Bonomo, ace-9 offsuit. I think he's deciding possibly to just open ship it. We've seen him make this kind of play.
Yeah, we've
Does
seen
shove.
him do this time and time again. I mean, Mans just won a tournament, so he's not going to adjust his strategy right away.
I think in that spot they kind of treat it like a small blind versus big blind no limit hold'em.
Yeah.
Just one player to act.
I think something to consider with starting hands is that hands that, I mean, obviously you can flop a straight with ace-9 as well, so that makes it a lot better than a hand like king-8. But a hand like ace-10 just does significantly better. Because against hands that are going to call you, you can just flop a straight against kings or get a straight. You know, with ace-9 you need low denomination boards. And
yeah, ace-9 doesn't actually play that well post-flop. So they just kind of take the equity and go with it. Shunu Jang's gonna come along with King Jack. Wai Long Chan, Queen Jack suited on the dealer button.
What'd you say?
I ruined one of the side tables.
How?
You know, there are drawers on the side that open. I got moved tables. I was trying to move the table with me. I spilled all of my food into the drawer.
Oh my god.
now, why would you do that?
Well done, Ike.
Well done.
That's rude.
Yeah, it's very rude.
Like a tofu or like a gloppy brown sauce,
Oh,
dude.
no.
Big wet mess.
Oh.
That's actually the worst, yeah. Yeah.
So this is checked around. A 6 would make a straight. I think Wai Long Chen has the best chance to represent it, and because he's on the dealer button, he's going to do it. In case he gets called, he can still hit a 10 to make the nut straight. Nice takedown.
Wai Long Chen is so good. We saw it last time in Jeju. He's so solid. He made some really big bluffs too at the final tables, and some big calls as well. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly one of those guys where
I was like
you always give them credit.
Yeah, he's super solid.
25, 50.
You were cross-booking, right?
Yes, I was cross-booking somebody. I was doing really well against like the other racks, except you. I lost a lot to you.
I guess I was just running good.
No, you.
Yeah, okay. That's such a Mikita answer. When somebody gives him props for something, he'll always say like, "Just lucky, I guess."
Yeah.
He always says that stuff. Just running good, I guess. Sometimes you just gotta take the compliments, you know? Say like, "Oh, cool, thank you."
He's trying to like, no, I'm not that good.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody knows. Shut up, dude. We like playing with you. Don't worry.
19 players remaining. Top 8 will cash. The chip leader is Romain. He's got 3 million. That's already like a final table stack. And a comfortable one.
Yeah.
John Juan has been hovering around his stack so far, grinding it out. Top pair. That's 45,000. Now Romain does have 2 pair, but on this board, it's not really the board you want to get a million chips in. You know, your opponent can easily have better. Pocket jacks, queen jack, king 10, 10, 8. Man, keep naming hands. And there's hands that has a lot of equity against you. Ace, king of hearts.
And there's also, yeah, a lot of hands, exactly like you're saying, that just can get there. So you're pretty much immediately in a bluff catcher position.
And a 6 is one of the only blanks in the game. King Queen actually probably thinks he's got the best hand a lot, because his opponent will have Jack 10, King Jack, you know, 10 9. So I don't fault Joando for betting again, thinking he's got the best hand. And with Queen 9, probably got the best hand. You don't want to bloat the pot by raising when you're this deep. It's probably gonna call and see a river card, so he does.
Oh.
Okay, well that's going to feel pretty good with Queen 9.
That is the action cards. Joanda's really loving that card too. Look at this run out for Joanda. He doesn't, I mean, he has the King of Hearts, which is a reasonably significant card on this board, but I mean, there's so many hands that contain a 10 or, you know, bottom 2 pair.
Yeah, if I'm Joanda,
Jason,
I feel pretty good.
Check.
Just check. I think he's hoping his opponent has like Ace 10, 2 hearts, something he can take a stab. Now that he's checked though, he's let Romain have the opportunity to set the price. If Romain puts Joanda on King Queen, he's gonna go for a big bet. If he just puts him on like say aces or kings, he needs to go for a smaller bet. See what he does. That's a pretty small bet.
Yep.
He thinks he's got a 1 pair type hand. So Joanda is gonna get away for a cheap price. I would feel pretty good about this one. You know, he only lost 90,000 on that river. I think if Joanda bet himself, he would have bet more. He would have called bigger.
True. That's hard to say there for Romain.
So blinds are up 12,000, 24,000. I believe this is the final level for today. Tomorrow we'll play down to a champion.
Yeah, good bet, good bet. No, bet more, I might not call.
Nice.
Oh, he's gonna have to sell some of those.
Yeah.
Are we?
Just training him. 啊，你们有试过？
为什么要这个？下一次哦。
比较适合。这支吧，12000、24000。
哦，对呀。
嗯。
Ace King for Shunu.
Getting pretty short.
Yeah, he needs to decide, does he want to go for the limp shove or the open shove?
45 antes.
Yeah, just gonna call. Oh, actually, that's raise, excuse me. Ace queen. What are your thoughts? You think this is a shove from Haxton? Haxton kind of shoves these hands a lot.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Haxton and Justin Bonomo talk a lot of strategy still. They've done that their whole careers. Very similar styles in this game as well.
275.
Ooh, I like it. We get to see 3-bet. This kind of protects him against the people behind him. He's priced in against Shunu Zhang anyway. I really like this move.
Yeah, actually, the reason he did that is so that he can fold against further action from other players and get it in with a short stack.
Yeah, really smart.
So he is going to get it bad. Haxton needs a queen to knock out Shunu Zhang here.
Short stack, a little bit for everybody.
It's an interesting flop.
Very spicy flop.
Oh my goodness.
Chop.
I don't think so.
Yeah, chop.
All right, so that's nut flush.
Oh, flush, flush. Come on, baby. Almost missed it.
Didn't know he hit a flush.
Maybe chop.
So Haxton's going to have to send over half of his stack.
It's like 505 or something.
I love the appreciation out of Jason Kuhn every time he sees a flop in short. It's like, oh, this game. Oh, this game.
Yeah, it's hard for your opponent to be drawing like dead.
485.
485?
Yes. 485.
Just 485.
So Wai Leong Chan, Justin Bonomo, Shunu Zhang, who just doubled up. Those are the top 3 stacks at this table. Isaac Haxton's the table short stack. Again, we're seeing a little bit of new strategy, a non-3-bet all-in that wasn't aces.
Yeah.
Ante is 12,000, button ante 24,000. This is the last level of the night.
Ooh, kings now for Jason Kuhn. He's getting he's on the shorter side of things. He still has 55 antes, so it's not panic mode at all yet.
Yeah, he's hoping for some action behind him. These hands generally going to try to see a free flop.
Ace blocker, sometimes a possible stealing hand when you're in position on the dealer. You block so many of the limp raising hands. It plays terribly post flop.
Jason Kuhn's like, please raise me,
Do
please
it.
raise.
Come on, man. Oh,
Yep.
there he goes. 124. I love this.
Yeah, he is recognizing to try and take some stabs at pots, and Jason Kuhn's like, yes, thank you for raising. Now I can just limp shove.
All in.
There's the limp all in.
Bling, bling, blow. Really important pot there for Jason.
658.
Can you put seed in the pots? Just, yes.
Yeah, ask him to drag in the chips.
Oh,
Figure out
wow.
how much is remaining.
I was already zoned out. I was reading the chat. I wasn't expecting this.
Well, if his opponent has, Kuhn has like king queen, then he'd want to call. But look, ace-7 offsuit. We would say this is not a great hand. That's 40% against pocket kings.
40%. All right, that's pretty incredible.
It's like I've already put in 124,000.
I mean, legit. If he thinks, you know what, I think that there's a big chance Jason Kuhn has kings, queens, or jacks, then this is actually a statistical call. That's a level I haven't thought about much.
It's like, well, technically kind of free rolling, right? I just doubled up. I could just use these chips to kind of bust out Jason Kuhn. He's going to lay it down. It's just, you look at your hand, it's ace-7 offsuit then. So
yeah, man, I feel like he was close.
Jason Kuhn's like, oh, you're going to call me, huh? Hacks in the table short stack. Some more offsuit kings. Reasonable hands to try to see a free flop. Shunu Zhang into cutoff, 9-8 offsuit. Why not? Why long queen-9 clubs?
I really think 9-8 is a reasonable hand in this game.
The good thing about 9-8, most people don't play 8 in their hands, so you know that card is pretty clean when you hit it. Same thing for like 9-8's more clean than 10-8 because people do play Jack-10.
Yeah, 10 is a very often played hand.
So Shunu Zhang is the only player with a heart. King 10 and King Jack on this board actually, it's probably the best hand, but it's not exciting. So you see Haxton check, Jason Kuhn, he checks. Shunu's got middle pair. He's going to check as well. Wylong has middle pair. He checks. So 4 checks. Turn card is a queen. So actually, most players got a little bit of improvement.
Wylong Chen now with 2 pair.
So Haxton, he's going to check. Jason Kuhn, King Jack. Everyone's pretty cautious. He's going to actually fire out some chips now.
35.
So Wylong Chan got weak 2 pair. It's a pretty small bet. Wouldn't fault him for calling and seeing what happens on the river. Yeah, good call. It just seems like these small bets can kind of probing bet, so you know you don't want to fold like 2 pair. Haxton with King 10. Could easily be the best hand right now, because it's not like a pot-sized bet.
Yeah. If people just have like the 10 of hearts in their hand, they have a very reasonable call or a bet already.
So 3 players do call. Chan has got the best hand.
Check. Kings. 13.
Checking around, weak 2 pair, not really strong enough to value bet. Wai Leong's going to chip up a little bit more.
Nice hand, La.
Looks like Jenton's getting moved over here to the blue table. Just listening to the whistling.
Just on Bonomo limping a very reasonable hand. Shino Zhang, same sort of hands. Another pocket pair of kings.
Yeah, he's got kind of a shorter stack. I expect Haxton to just shove here. He is a bit in tank, trying to decide if he should pop it up or shove. The way he's been playing, shoving's been the standard. He's really taking his time here. Very calculated player.
120,000.
So he's going to raise
120,000.
10 antes.
120.
It's a little bit suspicious when you make 120K if you only got 330,000 behind. So Shunu saying here, King Jack.
We've done the 2 tables now? 3.
Gonna lay it down correctly. Just knows that Haxton is just super strong when he makes it like this with that stack size. So onto the red table. Paul Foss sitting down.
Nice.
Yeah, he's always lively. He actually bubbled event number 1 and didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Joando was saying he had too much money to realize he bubbled. Wai Kin Young, this is one of my favorite players. He's all in with Queen 10. Very experienced short deck player.
Oh man, I love watching Wai Kin Young play. I hope he doubles just for the sake of that we get to see him play more hands. He's so smart, so disciplined.
How much once again?
Has a lot of gamble in him too when he needs to. And you know, kind of when we say gamble in the storm, it just I guess it kind of translates into pressure.
Yeah, puts a lot of pressure. But he also plays the highest cash games. He's been in the $1 million cash games previously in the Triton Super High Roller Series, so be sure to check that out on the Triton Poker YouTube channel. Blasey got King Queen, makes the call. Against Young's range here, King Queen is a pretty good call. Young is in trouble, at risk. Oh. Needs to hit a 10, or we won't be seeing him too much again.
Sick needle.
I mean, I want to see more action from him, and that's a flop that maybe he can hang in there.
90% is come up.
90%.
No,
Especially
every time.
AV is.
Yeah,
Nobody
now, yeah, everybody falls so quickly, exactly. I always think like that.
No ace this time.
What kind of run out is that?
Insurance because of that. You know.
No, but this is different.
Oh, that's too bad. I jinxed him really hard there.
Jinxed him.
It's the most playable
Why
card,
can?
right?
This was too small of a buy-in for him anyways.
It's 7 suited you will play, you know. It's 6. Queen 6 suited you will not play.
Sometimes don't play.
So nothing new. Bodzikowski stacking chips.
Back to the blue table. We see Jason Kuhn actually flopping a straight here with 7-6.
Yeah, it's the nuts.
It is.
How do you flop the nuts?
Yeah, so, wow, okay. That's the first time we've seen this edition. And we're actually looking at an overbet on the flop there from Shunu Zhang.
Yeah, this must be a limp pot. Jason Kuhn here. He does know that a 10 or a jack is a little bit tricky because he can make a better straight out there. He knows if he raises, it looks really strong too. So, what is the best line?
All in.
So, besides it's all in.
I love that that came right after your question.
It's a tough spot for ace queen, I think. My thought process is that Jason Kuhn's on the dealer button, so he can actually have ace 9, ace 8 very easily. He makes the call though. He's actually in really bad trouble. Yeah, he didn't expect the straight. Thought he might be up against like some straight draw.
Yeah.
Or he's got equity against like ace 8 or 8-9. It's actually in really bad shape here.
Oh, he's a sweat.
Ooh.
Yeah,
oh,
there
that
it
is
is.
one of the sickest cards to come.
That is a turn card.
Just look at Jason. Jason's like, I know. I know. No, there's always a sweat.
Yeah, 2 pairs no good.
35. I'll break down a stack because I'm known to have 19s.
I have 21s.
It's like the best turn card possible, but doesn't get there. So Shunu saying it's down to 200,000.
35.
That is the dream scenario right there. Oh, you see somebody over by 7-6. You look on the button and you think, oh, not this trash. But the nice thing is, if you get a free flop with it, you just know that barely any of your cards are out there.
Yeah, Jason Kuhn, the most profitable 7-6 offsuit player in short deck.
Jack of hearts.
I think once Shunu made it overbet, he felt quite committed.
Yeah.
He put in like too many chips.
You're going to do pretty well against a hand like 9-8, bottom 2 pair. I mean, there's so many counterfeit possibilities as well against ace 8 especially. And if somebody has jack 10, you block a queen, so you're like, well, whatever, we'll flip. So much money invested.
Jason Kuhn, he did win $1 million Hong Kong dollar short deck event at Triton Super High Roller Series before. So no stranger to this game. Doing well again. Seemed like every short deck event he plays, he always reaches 1.5 million chips at one point, whether he cashes or not.
Easy to root for, Jason Kuhn.
So Shunu is very short. He's practically saying he's all in no matter what coming up.
Yeah.
So he's got about 100,000.
Biggest part of the tournament.
Aces.
In short deck. Cool.
I think he has a little bit less than 200, but it's all in. It's going to get action. Two jack 10s. Thinking Jason Kuhn would want to put some action in. Does he? If he just calls though, Bonomo is probably going to come along as well. The thing is, the shove is so small. By you calling, you make Bonomo call a lot. So do you sometimes repop a little bit to try to push your opponent out?
I think that's not a bad strategy.
I think that's what's happening. So there's the raise. 190,000 total. Shunu has about 90,000, I believe. And Justin Monomo looking like Jack 10 is, a shove and a re-raise in front of me. And he's going to pitch it.
Too late. I think he just called, Jason.
I got the medicine.
I think Jason just called.
No, he actually repopped it a little bit. I heard him say raise.
80.
Okay.
So yeah, Shunu, 87,000 for Shunu Zhang, he said.
Okay. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was a little bit shocked that Justin folded.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, always a sweat
Luckily, it's short deck.
Da da da.
Excited about turning some outs.
One more.
Yeah, one more cards.
Could you imagine if this game had 6 cards?
I wouldn't play it.
Not good for the hearts.
After the betting's over on the river, one more card comes out, no betting on the last round.
It's a random card just knocking out people.
Yeah.
Alright, so Shunu Zhang chips up a little bit. Looks like he's got about 200, a little bit more than that.
Sweet, you can semi-bluff the river.
Ace King for Jeton. The trend for Jeton has been to limp Ace King in these early positions, and it's a pretty much trend for most players.
Yeah.
Especially with this many chips. Is he going to raise or just call?
He's just going to spite you here.
Yeah, you heard me. So let's raise it up. Let's make it 90,000. Okay. Actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because they are 100 antes deep. Effective. Bonomo here. Do you just rip it in? Do you make it 300,000? Do you call because you're so deep? I think this is the first time Bonomo's experienced the situation.
Yeah, for sure.
So Bonomo's looking at the pot. It's 162,000 in middle. He does shove. I actually don't really know what Jeton's going to do.
Yes, it's just like, come on, man. We're 25 minutes away from the end of day one. This happened to me yesterday too. God damn it! I had to play some monster spots. Yeah, he's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, he's not loving it. I actually think he would fold queens. The ace king, it's better than queens.
Yeah. This is torture though. I completely understand his predicament.
If Bonomo makes him fold here, this is a huge win for him.
Yeah.
How do you get a guy to fold ace king pre-flop? Well, you put in 100 antes in.
It's just like, you can sometimes even think, oh, I'll put people on Jack 10 suited or 10-9, but people have not been raising those. They have been calling with those.
That's correct.
But then again, people have also been insanely aggressive with ace queen, especially Justin.
There's the call.
He's disgusted.
Disgusted call, but it's the right call. He's actually really relieved.
Yeah, I would be too.
How many times you won this today? None. Not this one?
It's pretty hard to win this one.
If anybody can do it?
Nah.
No.
Wrong game.
You had a good start to do it to you.
Alright, attention dealers, if you start a shuffle, please complete the hand you're on, otherwise stop please. It's a going to be this. If you start your shuffle, complete the hand you're on, otherwise stop please. We're just going to draw for how many hands we're going to play for tonight.
So we're drawing for the number of hands.
Oh, I thought we played 12 levels.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Ike's on it. Ike's always on it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're gonna find out. We gotta sweat it. Which 3 more hands.
Okay, 3 has been drawn.
Three more hands?
Yeah.
You know, if the 4 got picked, all of the Asian players would just get up and leave.
Not playing that one. I'm actually surprised that one is in there.
Yeah.
All right, 2, 3, or 5.
He just walks up and leaves.
Oh man, Ike is just, whenever something happens, what? What's going on? Why? What are we doing? Luca, what are you doing?
Why is only 2 choices?
Yeah. Calm down, Ike. It's level 11.
All right, so 3 more hands until the end of the stream for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Queen 10 for Isaac Haxton. It's going to call. So players are playing slow, trying to squeeze into day 2. 16 remaining. We're actually only 8 away from the money right now. And there's a lot of short stacks.
Go players.
Wow, that is an action board.
Shunu Zhang flops a set of 9s. Wai Long Chen has double straight draw. Haxton with inside straight draw. Jason Kuhn has the mid pair, backdoor nut flush draw. You see 2 checks in front of you, only 1 guy behind you. I think you just gotta try to build the pot now. You're too short.
I think there's a chance he's just gonna rip it in for 3 times pot.
I think it's possible, but I do like just betting because you want to try to get some chips with such a short stack.
Yeah, true. I think if he has a hand like Ace King or let's say King Queen, King Jack here, you're gonna see a lot of times where you're just gonna bomb it, but
yeah,
you just have so many redraw possibilities for the full house.
And someone could be drawing really slimly with like King Jack, King 10.
Mm-hmm.
So Wai Leong is going to raise.
That's cool. He notices that he has a lot of equity anyway, and he's up against a short stack. He doesn't want to give any of these other guys a chance to come along with a hand like 10-8.
So it's actually a good spot for Shunu Zhang, who just snap shoves. 32% for the straight draw.
Wow. I almost thought about doing something really stupid right there. I'm so glad I didn't. I'm telling you, I was like, I was about to do something really stupid.
All right.
Only 2 more hands. And you can't do
Turn
anything.
card is a queen, so Wai Long Chen makes a straight.
And ace of spades and a 9 in my hand, and I was just like, I don't know.
Shunu Zhang is eliminated.
That's
like,
it.
okay, I'm gonna fold. Good game, Aaron.
Good game.
15 players remaining. That's actually smiling as he leaves. Good spirits. Probably gonna go play a big ass cash game.
Yeah.
2 more hands?
All right.
1 more.
2 more hands.
Maximum punishment. Yeah, sure.
Let's just play. Let's just play.
Let's do it after
You
in
sure
2
this time,
hands.
Luca?
Sorry?
You sure this time?
I think so.
We got 2 more hands.
It was my fault. Nobody else.
Yeah, very good points.
Let's just buy the chips after the. We got 2 more hands to play.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I might not make it.
Yeah, I am falling to pieces.
No, I just mean I don't have many chips.
Oh.
Jason Coons, I'm tired. Haxton's talking about chips.
I'm okay, thank you.
Pocket queens for Justin Bonomo. Just a call. His opponents are very deep behind him.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to debate Ike. Oh, Ike's already out, so never mind.
Jetting with ace jack. Free flop. So Jen outflops Bonomo. Bonomo is actually betting out. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll leave out that. It's kind of funny because he's got the blockers to the hands he beats. You know,
Yeah.
Queen Jack, King Queen.
He doesn't have a club either. I don't.
You know, it's just two
Testing
more hands.
something
Might as well
else.
try some new strategy real quick.
Yeah.
But it's alright. It's just a small bet. 156,000 in the middle. Now he's going to check. I think he pretty much knows he's behind. You're jetting here, ace jack. This actually checks it back.
Do I have the curry beef? Yeah. And seasonal vegetables with garlic.
I just want to point out that Haxon is ordering like a full meal
very
with
much.
2 hands left in the day. I'm not sure if he realizes. So he goes check, check on the turn. Check. And I think Jetton can consider getting some value here. If his opponent had ace queen, ace king, or trip tens, he probably would bet. Jetton can easily represent a misdraw like queen jack, king jack, 2 clubs, so he is going to shoot. Half the pot.
What did I tell you, by the way? How crazy is that?
I've got a huge hole in the head where you don't throw it back, but I had 9-6 clubs.
Yeah.
So Bonomo's trying to think about
It's a lot worse than that.
what his opponents could have.
Yeah. How about I just stopped it?
He's really thinking about it. I think it's because he's got pocket queens and he realizes he wanted a bigger pot in general. Like just a little bit attached. And, you know, it does happen to even the best of players.
This is a very strange hand by Justin.
Yeah, Justin's thinking, what are you check back and now betting?
Now it's gonna be a good
Did you really not raise like ace jack plus pre-flop on the dealer button? Would you really value bet a hand like ace 6, ace 7, ace 8, ace 9 on the river? And I think he thinks the answer is no. That's why he's considering a call. Doesn't expect Jen to check back a 10. He's just like, I don't know what you got. I'm just going to call and find out.
I can't wait to have a brewski.
So I think the assumptions he had about Jenton are wrong, so he's going to have to readjust that for tomorrow.
Last hand, I will take 2 red aces. Please.
Jason sounds so tired.
All right, Jason. Let's
No,
get you
I'm
those
wishing
2
for
red
2
aces.
If I get short decked, I get short decked. But I'll take the ace.
Let's give him 2 jacks instead. Figure out how to play those hands.
I don't think you understand the level of degree of my mastery of maneuvering all in situations in short deck.
I already got your dissertation on staring your opponent down yesterday.
Yeah, Stevie used that on me today and it almost worked for him, but then he looked at the turn. He picked up the open-ended straight flush draw or something crazy on the turn, but he looked at it, got excited. Brick.
Yeah, that's what you get.
You can't look at it.
Trust the process.
Jason Kuhn, Queen Jack. Jack 10 suited for Wylong Chan. He's going to call. Not too many good hands behind him, so we're probably going to see a four-way flop. Be quite uncharacteristic for Jeton to get out of line right now. Queen 6. This is a bad hand. You just check and hope you flop trip sixes.
Yeah.
So everyone's got a little bit of a piece. Jeton, top pair, he checks. Don't think Haxton can really get away with betting here. Just too suspicious given that it's all high cards and you check the dealer button. Also, Haxton makes a straight, Kuhn as well.
Wylong not out of it yet. Can catch up with the boat.
Okay, so Haxton here, he's got the straight, sees all these checks in front of him. In a four-way pot, it's hard for someone to stab, so I think it's worth betting to try to charge some two pairs, some flush draws.
$43.
43,000 in the middle. Jason Kuhn's got the straight. He's gonna call.
I would have liked to see Wylong Chan come along just for dramatic effect.
Just hope for the board to pair. Whatever card pairs and just open jam. River card's a 9. And it's gonna be a chop pot. Haxton's gonna take a little bit of time before he bets. But it's gonna be not so exciting pot, so this is gonna be the end of the day after this hand. Tomorrow we're gonna start at the same time. Gonna finish this tournament off.
And by the ones?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Action still on Haxton.
Yeah, yeah, we're done.
Trying to pretend he's got a bluff here to try to get called by a random two pair, but
Make sure. I think it is.
so Haxton bets half the pot. Jason Kuhn calls and chop it up.
Chop, chop.
All right, so that's it today, Lex.
That's it, long day of grinding. Almost 12 hours in. We've seen so much action today. Of course, winner again of event number 1, Justin Bonomo, taking home 600,000. What a start of the series for him.
Yeah, we're gonna crown him champion tomorrow in this event. And then we're gonna transition over to No Limit Hold'em.
I need to win this chip race.
Also a $65,000 buy-in. We hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Start again tomorrow at the same time. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel. It'll let you know when we're live.
Here we see some of the chip counts. So we're gonna be starting tomorrow. We see Arnaud Romet with 3 million chips, Wylong Chan with 2 million. I really hope we see you guys tomorrow again. We're playing for a first place prize of $1.25 million. So twice as much as Justin Bonomo took home. We're actually getting really close to the money already, so make sure you're there sharp on time. Action will start local time here, 2:30 p.m. That's 6:30 CET in the morning, half an hour after midnight for the late night grinders in Eastern Time America. And of course, videos are open broadcast for everybody if you click on the videos section in the Triton Twitch channel.
Yeah,
and rewatch all the action.
Thank you guys very much. Me and Lex are gonna go try and pull up our money and play a cash game now. Just kidding, guys. I think.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Sharp at the start, ready for some bubble action. Randy Liu, my name is Lex Velthuis, signing out from Jeju, South Korea, Shinra World Resort. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just make a little announcement now that most of the players have arrived, finally. It's time just to give you a proper welcome here to Jeju. I think it's fair to say that we have a collection of the best players in the world here, almost to the extent where you feel sorry for the rest of the world.